I'm going to be pulling up our stream to make sure that everything's gone live. Yes, I think that is actually live now.
I don't ever really know how to start these things. Hey y'all, welcome to episode 8 of Touching Grace, where we work on our base and Grounded and talk about stuff that has nothing to do with Grounded. I am joined once again with my co-host, Not a Buttface.
It's me, not a Buttface, and also I think our levels are pretty okay. Now, I just need to make sure that we load correctly in.
They should be. I haven't messed with them.
Oh, but I never know if my microphone's going to come through correctly, or if the game audio is going to be screwy. These things tend to happen.
Okay, so on the base building front, we are going to... I think we have completely finished the warehouse finally. We finished the house a while ago. Yeah, the warehouse is completed.
Can a house ever really be finished, or is it still always a work in progress as we continue to live there?
We do need some raw weevil meat to finish this infected weevil. And it looks like everything else we need is Wasp Queen and IBM.
Intercontinental Ballistic Mother?
Sure. As for the museum itself, I believe I have to finish building the roof on it. Which,
Did we end up figuring out like what the roof shape should look like? Because I kind of like how that's come together even in profile from out here.
I mean, I think we're basically kind of there.
I think you'd ended last stream being like, I need to really figure out what the architecture of this place is going to look like. But I like what you've done. I like how you got it all going.
Hey, guess what I didn't do?
Watch a bunch of TV shows and movies?
No, I did do that.
What
I didn't do was look at museum architecture.
Wow. Again, I don't think you need to. I think what you've got there looks very nice.
I think I see what I have a problem with here. I think everything needs to go up one level. We'll figure this out. So I'm gonna need whatever these are made with.
This is going to make me go splat if I don't put on the charm that I need.
Okay, I need spiky burrs and pinecone pieces to make the roof.
Well, could you believe that I've already gone to start collecting some spiky burrs?
Let me see what we've actually got in the box. Because I don't think we have much.
Now, unfortunately, the pinecone pieces are the one that we're going to be limited on for respawns.
Yeah. So we actually have quite a few spiky burrs.
Yes.
And we have 50 pine cones. So I will get to working on the roof with what we've got.
I was gonna say bit of quick back of the napkin calculation. 50 pine cones is not enough.
Probably not. No. So anyway, we kind of challenged each other to watching some things last week. Or not last week, but last stream. If you would recall.
I mean, I recall. I was the one who had to sit there and watch it all. And it was, with the exception of 2 entries, actually enjoyable.
2 entries, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't even find an interesting angle with which to approach the topic of Blart, but we'll get there. Blart was a slog all the way through, and I think that there's some ground to cover with it, but I don't know if I'm the one to have that discussion. Don't fall in the hole. It's fine. I'm lived. Thanks, brain. Words gooder. But I think we should first and foremost round out our. Since when has Touching Grass just become Buttface and Blau recap media that they have watched? Like, is this just our easy podcast fodder?
I guess so. Yeah, probably. Why? Did you have something else you want to talk about?
No, I don't. But that's the thing. It's like this is fine. This is fine to be doing. It's just. We have now long since gone off of formula, and it's just like let's catch up on X, Y, and Z. And yeah, last time we did a whole discussion about the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, right? We got through 1 to 3. And
Correct.
then what comes after the end of Sonic 3?
And
Knuckles.
actually, it comes after Sonic 2.
Well, I'm talking about it in games.
I mean, there's a Sonic 2 and Knuckles 2.
Sonic 2 and Knuckles is not like extra game content. It's one playable character.
Sure, but it changes how you play the game.
The and Knuckles adds in levels. It's new content, and it comes after the end of 3.
You know I'm going to fight you on this, right?
But I'm right.
No. I will never admit
Knuckles
that.
isn't in the movie Sonic 2 and is not a quote on. Oh no, Sonic 2 is the Knuckles one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, so then we've already covered all of that content.
But yeah, in the storyline, the Knuckles miniseries comes after Sonic 2, before Sonic 3.
It bothered me. It bothered me that was the like interstitial series, because as Blau pointed out, and I was in a bit of disbelief that this was the case, and Knuckles is just the Big Lebowski is her thesis statement. And I'm reticent to agree with her.
Yes.
Because I really don't think it is, until it all of a sudden very much is.
I told you. It's
the whole
it's the
thing
Big
is
Lebowski for kids.
I just hate the way that sentence comes together. Every bone in my body is like, nope, that's wrong.
But they made it work.
No, the Knuckles series is loosely focused around a bowling tournament, kind of, and there is bowling in Lebowski.
Kind of.
And so the way that it ties then into Sonic 3, the movie, is that Wade Whipple, which now I will not be able to get that name out of my head ever, even though Like, his name, Wade Whipple, is said more than Pretzel Lady's name in the entirety of the Sonic series.
They did call her Pretzel Lady again in
Episode 1.
in
The one
episode 1.
Because they couldn't get James Marsden for it.
You know. Probably off blasting people with his eye.
Gazer beam. Heck. Sorry, I got enemies here. But, so Wade Whipple needs to become a great warrior.
And Knuckles needs to get out of the house because he's got too much energy pent up. There's not a healthy way to spend that energy.
It's a little bit of a fish out of water series where it's like, let's help this kid acclimate to life on Earth, where it is not just all warrior fighting. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I still want to talk about how this series ties into 3, in that Wade has to become a great warrior, and that's the scene that we see in 3 when Sonic becomes Big Upsetto and has to go and retrieve the Chaos Emerald, and Knuckles is like, I've left it hidden with the world's mightiest warrior, and it's just Wade on a roof playing ice hockey.
I mean, it's best if you don't question it.
Well, but no, the thing that I'm questioning is you've built an entire series and character around the sport bowling, and then the scene that you leave it with is him playing hockey with the Emerald. You have him at a bowling rink. Like, why did you had one job, movie? You had one job to tie this character together, and it just didn't.
Are you surprised?
In any way. What?
Are you surprised by that?
Yeah, kind of, because the Ant Knuckles series is actually really holistically designed. I was not expecting as much of the series to, like, do setup and callback as well as it did.
Especially since going into it, like, everybody would just talk about, oh, it's not good. It's like...
I think that there is maybe one legitimately excellent episode of TV hidden in And Knuckles that is transcendently good.
I'm not saying
like,
it's gonna knock your socks off, but
I'm saying
it's fun.
There is one episode that knocked my socks off, had me floored, had me going, I did not expect the level of effort and craft being shown on display here, that had me front to back laughing my butt off.
So, would you like to go into... Well, you know, maybe we should talk about the Big Lebowski before we really go into the plot of the Knuckles series, since that's where I kind of drew my comparisons.
Okay, yeah. If you want to do the breakdown of Lebowski.
Oh God, I thought you had the synopses up.
Oh, I have a synopsis, but like I want going into And Knuckles, you had an idea of Lebowski.
Yeah,
what your thought of Lebowski was.
I had seen like bits and pieces of it, but never watched the full thing through. Certainly not enough to get any kind of idea of what the actual plot was.
It's a very referenceable movie.
I do want to point out one thing. You read, I believe, the description of the Big Lebowski on IMDb. Is that correct?
Maybe?
Would you like to reread that?
What exact description are you looking for?
I mean, you were looking... when I tried to say that it was about bowling, you were like, let me read the first sentence from this description. And it was something about it being a noir film or something.
I'm just going to pull that up. Hold on. What's the synopsis?
I just want you to reread that line for the audience here, because I'm not letting you get away with this one.
I mean, it is a noir film. Like, that's not up for debate. I'm trying to find...
Yes, but the way you attacked me with that description of it, I'm not letting it stand, and I have a reason. So I want you to reread.
I don't think I was reading a summary. I don't see that as a...
You said, let me read the first line of the description, and I can't remember if it was on IMDb or something else. Oh, this is the bad thing about being live. I can't just have the editor go back and pull it up.
Was it an IMDb thing? I'm looking here. I'm just seeing Jeff the Dude Lebowski is mistaken for a millionaire of the same name and seeks retribution for his ruined rug.
No, that's not it. The description that you read, which I guess was just the first sentence of it, specifically used the word noir. So find that description.
I know that I talked about it being a noir. Reviews say that Big Lebowski is acclaimed for its unique mix of comedy, drama, and noir, offering a memorable experience, but it's not really a summary. I don't think I was reading from anything.
All right, well, I'm certain you were reading from something in the first sentence, something that said it was like a noir film and mentioned nothing about bowling, and you were using that to, like, attack my idea of what the movie was.
Well, I still stand by that it really doesn't have anything to do with bowling, and
no, you are 100% correct about that. But in my defense, okay, I want to point out that I watched this on YouTube, okay, and the YouTube description says, from the Academy Award-winning Coen brothers, The Big Lebowski is a hilariously quirky comedy about bowling, a severed toe, white Russians, and a guy named The Dude. Jeff the Dude Lebowski doesn't want any drama in his life. Heck, it can't even be... I can't actually see the rest of that description. But whatever. Also, I don't know if this is like the DVD cover or like a movie poster or whatever, but it has like a giant ass bowling ball on it with bowling pins. So please tell me why I deserve to be attacked for thinking it had to do with bowling.
No, I wasn't attacking you for thinking it was being about bowling. I was simply saying that The Lebowski is not a like sports movie in the way that you were pitching and Knuckles as it's all about the bowling tournament, my guy. They go on a road trip for the bowling tournament.
Whoa. I never pitched it as all about the bowling tournament.
I was saying the Lebowski's plot structure is that of the noir, in which the reluctant and jaded hero has to go on a meandering like quest to, and the more I say it, the more it's just Knuckles, meandering quest to piece together all of these disparate elements to unravel the big central mystery of what is actually going on, because they themselves don't have the full picture. And then in the end, they really don't ever change anything. It just goes back to the status quo. And that's kind of the whole point of a noir, is that, like, you know, one man, no matter how much they can learn, never really ends up being able to affect the system, man.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Oh, I'm so glad that you have that in your back pocket now. Where are you?
I've heard that plenty of times before. You know how many chuds on the internet like to say that very phrase?
See, and now you're more acquainted with being able to hit him with calmer than you, dude. Calmer than you.
Not to mention probably the greatest line in that movie. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Oh yeah. Walter is. See, that's the thing about Coen Brothers movies. I don't know. Have you seen many Coen Brothers movies?
I
Can we get some
wouldn't
scenes?
know if I had.
Have you seen Fargo?
No.
Have you seen The Hudsucker Proxy?
The what now?
Have you seen No Country for Old Men?
No.
Have you seen what might be another famous one? There's so many movies.
So
What
famous.
you doing up here?
Any of them. Look, I'm
It
not.
is sleep time.
I'm not much of a video file. Hey, fun.
Ow.
Loser forgot to use his dandelion.
I didn't think you'd build it that high.
Can't sleep. We gotta wait
What?
like 20 seconds.
What? Can't believe it. Anyways, to get into the plot synopsis of The Big Lebowski, it's one of the world's most vibe-based movies, and it starts out with a pitch-perfect. You'd think that they're setting it up to be a western, right? You'd think that with Sam Elliott's dulcet tones as a tumbling tumbleweed rolls over the plains, only to reveal that it is in fact talking about the city of Los Angeles, the city of angels.
I've heard of that place.
Yes, and the dude is the man for his time and place. And the dude is expertly played by Jeff Bridges. He is playing Jeff Lebowski, who prefers to go by the name The Dude, El Duderino, if you're not into that whole brevity thing. As he is the world's laziest man. Definitely the laziest man in the county. Maybe putting him in the running of the laziest man in the world.
There's a lot of people in Los Angeles County, so.
Yes. But
I do have to correct something for the record here.
Yeah.
So last time, my description, I had said that he was a washed-up bowler, but there's nothing washed up about his bowling skills.
No, he's excellent.
He's just a loser. Kind of.
No, he's a bum, Lebowski. You've lost. Good day. It's going to be hard to find quotes from this movie that I can actually say, so I'm getting as many in as I can. I have to keep this PG. Fun fact, actually, there is in one draft of the script for Lebowski, it is mentioned because you never really see how he gets his money. He doesn't have a job. He seems to be independently wealthy, but even still, he like pays for his like carton of milk with a cashier's check, which is hilarious to start off the movie.
Oh gosh, I didn't even notice that detail.
Oh, this is the movie that you can see a million times. He's standing in line after he's like sampled the milk, and you can see he has a milk mustache on his mustache, and he writes the checkout girl a cashier's check for like 69 cents or whatever as he's listening to the news broadcast about this aggression will not stand. The other thing you're going to notice if you ever rewatch this movie, Blau, which I highly recommend you do, is that almost every line the dude says, he's heard somewhere else out in the world. Like, he might just be puppeting back what Walter says a lot of the time, but also his big, like, this aggression, it won't stand, man, is a direct quote from the TV he's listening to.
That's also a detail I didn't notice.
Yep. But anyways, it never really goes into like where he's getting this money. And of course his rent is late. He's constantly, again, depicted as the world's laziest man. And oh, I love the writing in this movie. But in that script, you want to know how he is considered to be independently wealthy, which again they left out of the movie because he doesn't need it.
Wow.
He claims a lot of dubious things about his past, like he was part of some political activist movement that I can't remember. You know, back when it was actually interesting, not like this rewritten draft that they have now. And it's when he's in bed talking with Maud about what he does for a living. And one of the things is that he is supposedly the inheritor of the Rubik's Cube fortune. He's like the son of the guy who invented the Rubik's Cube. That's not at all plot relevant, but I find it hilarious is that he just keeps cashing royalty checks.
That is funny.
Yes, and this is our protagonist in the year 1990, and he wears his iconic
1990.
Like,
that's a year that's relevant to this game.
He's big, full, bushy beard. Wears a interestingly patterned bathrobe pretty much everywhere. Always in flip-flops. I mean, he'd be wearing Crocs if this was shot today, right?
Nothing wrong with Crocs. Oh, I saw an ad for the gayest pair of Crocs I've ever seen.
Oh?
And they're Pokemon Crocs. But like the little strap that goes optionally across the back of your heel is like furry with like pink fur.
Was it weevil meat we needed?
Yeah, 2 pieces of raw weevil meat.
I have a million weevils here. Let's hope I can get these home before they sour. Okay. Can I turn on my... Ow. Ambassador, please and thank you. No, you're still mad at me. It's fine. I'm just gonna move away. Have Ambassador on. Hopefully that will despawn the aggro on these guys.
It doesn't.
And the main thrust of the plot of the Big Lebowski is that after the dude gets home from buying his milk to make his White Russian, his house is broken into by a couple of thugs who rip him out of the bathtub because he's in there enjoying a joint and relaxing, and violently shove his head down the toilet into a swirly, yelling, "Where's the money, Lebowski? We need our money!" To which his quip, I don't know, let me have another look, I couldn't quite see it, or something like that. Like he's just immediately, he is high off his gourd, but still has time to be quippy, you know? This movie is very quip heavy in a way that the Marvelification of scripts has not really got. I don't know how to describe it. It's a different writing voice that the Coen brothers have. And all of their movies are like this. No, it's not gunpowder that we need to be able to make spikes. And this sets up the main conflict of the movie, is that apparently Jeff Lebowski, there are 2 Jeff Lebowskis. The dude and a affluent real estate. We're not really sure what all he
A rich
does.
guy.
He's a big rich guy. And his thugs have broken into Lebowski's apartment complex, townhome, what do you want to call it? And stolen his rug, the rug that really tied the room together. The only thing in his life that he really seems to care deeply about.
Wait, no, they didn't steal it. They peed on it.
They pee on his rug and then they steal it.
No, it gets stolen later when he gets a replacement.
That's right.
Like the rug is ruined by being peed on.
They pee on his rug and then it gets stolen. And I might add, that God, this is the problem with this movie, is that like it is so scattershot that you need to be talking about all of these different pieces. The person who brings up that the rug really tied the room together and starts getting indignant about it is Walter. And before Walter brings it up and starts making a big deal, what the heck are these?
Yeah, the dude doesn't really care.
What is this?
Pine straw? Have you never seen pine straw before? That seems weird for a
Not
Canadian.
in this game. Not in this game. It's like physically interacting with me that I'm walking on it. I can't pick it up, but they're physical entities in the world. Like I can bunce them. Huh. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah, the dude's two best friends in the world are his two bowling partners, Walter and Donnie. And so after he gets violently assaulted in his house, his property gets defaced. He goes, screw it, I guess I'll go bowling. It's what I got to do. I guess that's the other thing that he cares deeply about is like his bowling league and his standing in it. Walter is a Vietnam vet.
I think that's right.
Who has very clear PTSD and is going through a messy divorce with his wife. And he himself is not of the Jewish faith, but he has like adopted it as part of his previous marriage and cares deeply about honoring the Sabbath Shabbat, which I can't believe is a major plot point in the Ann Knuckles series. This is the only reason I bring it up. I'm not joking. That the fact that was the name of an episode in Ann Knuckles, I was like, oh, all right, fine. We really do have to talk about Lebowski now, don't we?
Continue.
And then there is Donnie, who is...
He's just kind of there, really.
He's the most checked out character. I love that he just keeps constantly asking questions about things that no one is willing to acknowledge his existence on. Or,
shut the F up, Donnie. You're out of your element.
You're thinking about George Lenin? You're thinking about George Lenin. No! I'm thinking about Ilyad Ilyevich Lenin. You know, the communist. Rah, 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 rah. You could replace all of Walter's dialogue with rah, 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 and it would be fine. I got some anger on me. I don't want to be here. I want to be elsewhere. Please, thank you. Big angry boys. Please to be stopping. Oh, I just want to get my pine cones and then I want to go home. So Walter and Donnie collectively whip Jeff into, or the dude, into a frenzy and say, you know what you should do? Clearly these guys are mistaken. You should go to the actual Big Lebowski, who is Jeff Lebowski, the rich guy up in town, who has the same name as you. It's weird. It's weird. Totally unrelated coincidence. And demand that he, you know, compensate you for your ruined rug. To which the next scene we have an incredible appearance by Philip Seymour Hoffman, guy you love to see, doing the most sniveling, grovelly, butt-kissing, like, assistant to the rich guy you've ever seen. I love that entire interaction with him in the foyer. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's incredible. And they then go and talk. Jeff goes and talks to the Big Lebowski, and is like, "Look, man, I am deserved compensation for the ruined rug. This aggression will not stand, man."
To be clear, it is 100% this guy's fault that his rug got ruined. Because
Well, we don't really find that out.
Well, no,
until,
the Russians said that it was Jeff's wife borrowing the money, and when they were giving him the swirly and whatnot. And I think it was when he said, "Do I look like I'm married?" that they finally stopped. But yeah, we find out that bit there, and then actually, like right after this scene, find out a little bit more about that. Yeah, his wife borrowed money from these Russian mobsters or whatever.
I'm trying to think the actual intricacies of the, like, mystery plot here. Is it that she had borrowed money from them? Maybe? I can't remember.
Yes, she borrowed money from them. I just watched this movie.
Because she also ends up kidnapping herself. And there's also that whole bit of money shenanigans. Where am I putting these pine cones and burrs?
In the chests labeled pine cones and burrs.
Dang, look at you, already on top of it. Pine cones and burrs are over here. And now where am I putting this weevil meat?
On the weevil that's, like, not fully completed.
The ghost weevil? Where is this ghost weevil?
I mean, it should be, like, near the chests.
Oh! I found a ghost weevil. I have made a ghost weevil. There we go. Okay. That was pine cones got. I'm going to do a scan for more pine cones while I'm at it. But yes, the Big Lebowski basically refuses the request of the dude, saying, "The bum's lost, I owe you nothing, get out of my house." To which dude then goes back to, is it Branston or something like that? It's something like Branston.
I don't remember.
The assistant, it says, as he's being yelled out of the room, closes the door behind him and says, "I said it can take any rug in the house." Just great. Yeah, please. Survey resource pinecone. Looks like I have cleared pine cones out. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. On to next order of business. So he goes and Branston helps him pick out a rug from around the house. And as he's walking out, he sees the young Mrs. Lebowski, who is, I want to say Bunny or Bonnie.
Bunny.
Who is much younger, very much clearly his not his first wife. She's definitely the trophy wife. I'll put it that way. Sunning herself by the pool, painting her toes green. This is important. As we see a passed out man just kind of like lounging in the pool as well. who we will later find out is one of the nihilists. What you doing? Oh, I'm gonna fall! I'm gonna fall! Ow! I wanted to see what the roof looked like, and now I'm all the way over here. Dang it. Alright, I'm gonna go back and get some... I guess more birds if I can help it at the moment? I don't know what else to be doing while I wait for pine cones to respawn. And the lint on the mat hasn't respawned, so that makes me think the lint isn't respawned yet.
So he sees the wife, and I think she flirts with him a little bit.
She does more than flirt with him. Offers him some goods and services in exchange for $1,000, and says it's more if Brant watches. She's a piece of work. And then I guess what's going on here? I gotta read the. I gotta read the synopsis. Okay, then yeah, he just goes bowling after this again. They're back at bowling. The dude is berating Walter for bringing his ex-wife's dog in a kennel, and then Walter goes off on another bowling team because his toe is over the line, so he needs to mark it 0. And we see that Walter has real anger issues. Brings his concealed carry gun out, threatens the man, and we're also introduced to the Jesus. This is not an important character in this movie, by the way. I just want to bring up how excellently John Turturro is cast as a supporting actor.
As the Jesus.
And he does amazing bit character works. I think the Jesus is in all of like 2 or 3 scenes. His theme music is also a Latin American cover of the Eagles' Hotel California, which is like this lovingly slow motion, like it is the sexiest bowling has ever looked, is how I'll put it. And that slowly fades out from the non-diegetic music to what's just being played in the bowling alley background. The movie does this a lot. They also do that with the Tumbling Tumbleweeds song that's played in the beginning of the movie. Fades out to just a like lounge music cover of it being played over the loudspeakers in the shopping mall that the dude is in. But anyways, after the bowling, more bowling scenes, the dude goes home, checks his answering machine. There's messages about how Walter really shouldn't be brandishing his firearm at the bowling alley, and
from the bowling league, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna get kicked from the bowling league. There's messages on his answering machine about how Brant desperately needs to talk to Lebowski about the rug because he just stole a rug. And then his landlord comes by and says, "Hey man, you owe me money. Also, are you still going to be coming to my dance recital? I've been really working hard on it." And dude's like, "Oh yeah, of course, man, of course. And I'll get you that check. Don't worry about it." But eventually, as this scene goes on, Brant does get a hold of Lebowski and says, "Hey, you need to get back to the mansion. We need to have a talk." And here is where the next big narrative thrust of the movie is, oh no, Lebowski's wife has been kidnapped. and they're like, we think that she was kidnapped by whoever must have urinated on your rug, dude. And since you're the only ones who've seen them, we need you to be the bag man. We need you to take all this money that we have and make a switcheroo with them. It's like, all right, I guess. Or not a switcheroo. We need you to drop off this money, this totally legit thing, and get Bunny back. Bunny, again.
It's Bunny. You doubt my memory.
No, I believe you. I forget. I'm the one who's bad with words and plot synopses. So I'm going to speed run a lot of what happens here for the movie, because now we have Lebowski needing to go and give money to these Russians in exchange for getting Bunny back. Walter is like, nah, man, Bunny probably just kidnapped herself and ran off, and this is yet more of a ploy for her to get money. So what if we just do a switcheroo and give them the tidy whities, the whites, my dirty underwear, dude? And Walter kind of invites himself along on this quest to drop off the fake money, or to drop off his underwear. During this, the actual package of money gets lost or thrown out because there's a weird drive-by shooting that happens, and so no one knows where this money ends up, if it was ever really real in the first place. Which is just, it's fine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. The dude's car, they have to ditch it at some point, or then it gets stolen?
It got stolen, I believe.
It gets stolen at one point. Dude tracks down the daughter of the Big Lebowski. That's Maud. Maud is the daughter of the Big Lebowski from his first marriage, who is a...
I wouldn't say he tracks her down, more like she tracks him down.
They get in contact somehow.
Yeah, he gets home and her goons are in his place and, like, beat the shit out of him and kidnap him.
Oh, you're right. He does get knocked out by the goons, and that's where we have our first, like, dream sequence of him flying over Los Angeles on his, like, psychedelic rug.
Right.
Only to then be woken up with him holding a bowling ball as it plummets back down to Earth. And then he's in Maud's, like, studio.
Yeah.
As Maud is doing her, like, art piece. Because Maud is...
Or she is butt naked on a harness, like, flying overhead.
She's doing Jackson Pollock nonsense.
I don't know what that means.
That's the guy who does the splatter art. You've definitely seen that.
Have I?
Yeah, if you think of what modern art is, and it's just a bunch of, like, random paint splattered on a canvas, that's a Jackson Pollock.
You give me too much credit when it comes to paying attention to art.
Okay. I try to give you credit.
Give me way too much.
She tells the dude that actually the Big Lebowski is not a rich man. He's just putting on airs. It's all from her mother and, like, her inheritance. So this might actually not be a scheme from Bonnie, but he might be doing like like kidnapper's ransom, and then he'll be able to get reimbursement from people over this, right? Like this is an insurance case. He's gonna have Bonnie bumped off or something.
Good old fraud.
So it's always this is the noir thing of like follow the money, follow the lines of corruption, see who's actually playing who. We don't know what's going on, and of course, while the dude is over at Maud, he sees she's watching an adult. No, one of her guests is over watching an adult film called Log Jammin', starring Carl Hungus. I just want to say every name in this movie is my favorite name in any movie. And he recognizes that Carl Hungus is one of the nihilists, or is one of the guys that he saw lounging in the pool with Bonnie. And Maud is like, oh yes, that's a nihilist friend of Bonnie's. We're well aware of them. Maybe they kidnapped her once they found out about Lebowski's, the Big Lebowski's money. Oh no, and then of course Carl Hungus, that lead, gets the dude who is now full on private investigator mode. He goes to track down the local adult entertainment magnate of Los Angeles, Jackie Treehorn. He goes and tracks Jackie Treehorn down, which has my favorite bit of visual gag and the only bit of actual investigative detective work that the dude ever does, period. Did you catch it? Because the dude never gets any leads on his own. It's always other people coming to him and telling him where he should go next.
I'm gonna fall asleep standing up if we go.
Right.
The one time that he tries to do... I'm coming back to sleep. The one time he tries to do, like, actual private investigator nonsense is at his meeting with Jackie Treehorn. Jackie Treehorn leaves, says, I don't know anything about Carl Hungus. I don't know anything about Bonnie being kidnapped. I don't know what's going on, man. Anyways, here's this suspicious drink, or a White Russian. I know you like them. How does he know he likes them? No idea. Spoilers, the Big Lebowski, or the dude gets drugged from drinking this. But before that, he runs over as Jackie Treehorn is out of the room to whatever the notepad that he was writing on, and does the old, like, I'm gonna take an etching of this to see what he was writing. It's a really clever, it's the one moment of inspired brilliance from the dude, and it's just a lewd drawing. It's just a visual gag.
Yeah, nothing important at all.
Nope. And then, of course, Jackie Treehorn drugged the dude. Of course that was what was going to happen. I always forget to drink water in the morning.
You need to go and clone that everlasting hog stopper.
Do you want me to go clone that?
Yes.
I can go do that. Why didn't you ask me to do that a while ago?
I have, you just never did it.
I'm going to drop off some of these burrs first, and then I will go and say hello to our good friend Burgle. There we go. There we are. So he gets knocked out, which then starts the most iconic scene from this movie, I would say, which is the psychedelic drug trip at the bowling alley, which the, like, shoe rental guy is Saddam Hussein, because of course it is, because that's, like, the background of this whole movie is that like,
Storm or whatever.
Yep. And also we have the nihilists with their scissors and the bowling, and every piece of visual here is referenced elsewhere in the movie, because this whole thing, it's like poetry. It rhymes. It's incredible. I know where I'm going. Oh, the grass pallet land. Yes. certainly. Did I put the thing on? I did. I know what I'm doing. Okay. This is where his car, because he must have driven his car out to Jackie Treehorn's, and then it's stolen because he's like found running down the road in his bathrobe. Basically, he gets picked up by a state trooper and who throws his coffee mug at him in a scene. I remember this part. I remember how this is going. And
wearing a coffee mug just reminds me of Phoenix Wright.
yes. I forget that guy's name. He's also the guy with the laser visor.
Yes.
Why is it always laser visors? Is it explained why that prosecutor has a laser visor?
Yes.
Because I don't remember that at all.
It is explained.
But that's a discussion for another day.
It is very much explained.
I believe in you.
Guess while you're out collecting stuff, I'll go wrangle in these pallets.
I am doing a burgle science. Where is our cloning? Where is our cloning?
It's
there.
In the tree.
Why is it saying an aphid? The super duper. We have just enough science to clone this, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Like, there's no point in me eating up all our food when I'm just like hanging out at the base, you know?
There we go. Now it's time for me to come back. Can I find my way out of Burgle's hidey hole? The answer may surprise you. Yes! The dude's car is stolen. Walter says this is probably not a big deal. Bonnie probably just kidnapped herself. Then they find that the dude, Lebowski, the dude, gets sent, or maybe it's the Big Lebowski gets sent it, and then he calls the dude back to have a conversation with him. Either way, we find that Bonnie, he gets sent a toe that's painted green in the mail. As actual, no, we are real. We are a threat. The nihilists are going to do it.
Just the toenail is green.
Yes. No, they paint the whole bloody toe, the toe to tip.
You know, it wasn't very bloody for a severed toe.
No, it wasn't. And so the dude's like, crud, I guess I really do need to get my car back, which has the clues and or the money that we need to get Bonnie. So they go... Gosh, I'm trying to think how this works. They find his car impounded. The money is missing. But they find this, like, kid's homework with his name on it.
Yep.
So Walter and the dude...
They
You'll
track
notice
down the
Donnie
kid.
never comes along for any of this.
Yeah, Donnie's only ever at the bowling alley.
Yeah. Where do you want this trinket dropped off? In the trinket chest?
Sure.
There we go. Can have a trinket as a treat. A treat kit, if you will. Do we have resource scans?
So they track down where the kid lives, and I think he's like mute or something because he doesn't ever say a word.
No, he's just a kid. He's just a jerk kid who's like not acknowledging it. Whereas for some reason Walter is fawning over the kid's father, who is a famous like author. For no reason does this author need to be Mr. Frumpf in the Iron Lung, but yes, he is. These guys need to not be here. Taking care of business. And Walter goes ham on this kid's car, just smashing it to pieces.
Because he's got like a brand new Ferrari or something out front.
Yeah. Well, because that's what he must have done with the money in that he got from Lebowski. Like clearly this kid just took the money and ran. But nope, it was the neighbor's car. The neighbor comes out and then starts wrecking the dude's car. Where are you spitting from? I have somehow lost. This guy has to be underground somewhere. Like you must have clipped. You must have clipped somewhere stupid, dude. All right, it's fine. But the dude's car now is absolutely trashed, wrecked, just garboed.
Still drivable though.
They never find the money. In a throwaway scene, we see that Bonnie's just like driving away to, for all intents and purposes, Reno. And you know what? The dude says, screw it. I'm going bowling again. They get back to the bowling alley, and the nihilists are mad. They show up outside the parking lot demanding that the dude talk to them. He goes, look, I don't have your money. Bonnie kidnapped herself. We didn't...
Oh, no, they set his car on fire.
Right, they're out there setting his car on fire. Because you hear over the bowling PA someone's car's on fire. They check out. But Walter gets his firefight, and in the ensuing chaos, Donnie gets clipped. Donnie gets... No, it's not that Donnie gets clipped. He doesn't get shot. He just dies of an unrelated heart attack. And so then...
Yeah, because he overexerted himself.
Poor innocent Donnie, who's done nothing wrong, dies completely unceremoniously, and Walter and the dude then go and get his remains cremated. They're incensed over the price of an urn, so they just end up using a Folgers coffee tin to keep it in. And then they go and hold his eulogy out by the ocean because Donnie was a prolific surfer. A thing that was never brought up in the movie at all, and something that I think Walter is surprised by after he tries to make his eulogy about Vietnam, because of course he does. These things not be... I would very much appreciate...
I think we skipped past the point where... what's her name? Maud or whatever? Tries to, inseminate herself.
She does want a little Lebowski of her own, yes. She's quite taken by the dude also. Like truly. Does not want him involved at all in the child rearing process, but does quite like him. He's an interesting fellow. And I don't blame her. But I don't think that has any bearing on plot in general at all.
No, I just felt like mentioning it because, I mean...
Well, but I guess Sam Elliott at the very end does mention that there might be a little Lebowski on the way. So it is like reincorporated. It is brought back. But they throw Donnie's ashes into the wind, which of course blow back in his face, and he just gets covered in them in his beard, which is kind of like
He's really out of his
Why?
element.
Why is this thing being blown back at me? Nothing works, and they say, screw it, let's go bowling for the umpteenth time in this movie. And that's how it ends. They're at the bowling alley, they're bowling. The dude does finally meet up with Sam Elliott, our narrator. Sits down, has a little talk with him. Sam Elliott says, I just wish he wouldn't cuss so much. To which Lebowski says, F it. And then roll credits. Tumbling along, tumbling tumbleweeds. Nothing's really changed. No one's grown. There were no character arcs.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that's about the journey. And
It's
not at all about the
entirely
ending.
faith.
If you're the kind of person that likes movies for like a story that has a good resolution, then you're gonna hate this movie.
What did you think of it?
I mean, I thought it had a lot of really good one-liners. It had some funny moments. It had some intrigue in there. Like, we were interested, but I do feel like having all that intrigue and just kind of unceremoniously wrapping it up was kind of disappointing.
I would warn people that I don't think the Coen brothers have ever written a satisfying conclusion in their life, and they've done that on purpose. Like, it is legitimately like their worldview. Like, I would say that most, if not all, Coen brothers movies are about radical nihilism, in that it's like nothing matters, so what you make of things matters. Which is funny that then, of course, the nihilists are the ostensible antagonists in this movie. It's like, whatever's important to you, that's the important thing in life. Because you're making it important. Blau, where am I going? What am I
And
doing?
to the dude, the important thing in life is bowling.
And his rug.
Well, no, that was more
And-
important to Walter.
And his white Russians. And his car.
Well, rip.
Dude, where's my car?
The car is, Did they make that movie too?
No, they didn't.
I'm just wondering because they did say that line, and I was like, huh. Because this movie came out way before that.
Oh, yeah.
Like a decade before.
Big Lebowski's 1998.
Oh, I thought it was like... I thought it was earlier, I thought it was early 90s.
Nope. But yeah, that's the Big Lebowski. So it features... I should have given you one more movie homework to do, which is rewatch Iron Man 2.
Well, you
Because
did.
Iron Man...
You did kind of give me more movie homework to do.
Oh, did I?
You keep giving me crap about having not seen The Princess Bride.
I want to cover Knuckles first.
Well, yeah.
because
Keep that close to yourself.
I at first I didn't think that Knuckles was going to be Big Lebowski-ish at all. It just happened to feature bowling.
Surprise.
Like, as early as the second episode, it's a short series. It's 6 episodes. The first episode is a double-length one.
Yeah, it's basically the length of a feature-length movie.
I would wonder if... The Big Lebowski's not a short movie, either. It's like 2 hours. I wonder if they're roughly equivalent in length. But, the first episode, we can pretty much speedrun as Knuckles is having a difficult time adjusting to life on Earth.
Quiet Life,
And-
really. Specifically Quiet Life.
I'm going to splat out the quiet life on Earth.
Because you gotta understand, the only thing Knuckles has ever known is being a warrior. And now there's nothing to fight.
I also just briefly want to mention that the theme song to this is... I don't know the actual name of the song. Is it I Am the Warrior? They say it a lot in the chorus.
I think so.
shooting, and the other reoccurring line from the chorus is shooting at the walls of heartache, which is
Shooting at the walls of heartache.
bang bang, which is that an oblique reference to bowling in this?
I don't know.
Because you shoot your ball at the wall, the back wall of the bowling alley. I would, like, if someone said bowling alleys or bowling is about shooting at the walls of heartache, I would believe that as a line from this movie, you know?
You're the one that looks into that kind of symbolism far more than I do.
It's flowery language, but I bet you there's a connection there. It's a great, catchy song. I love the animatic that opens up the TV show.
Well, it was never explicitly said.
No. But yeah, the Donut Lord household is completely destroyed. There are contractors in trying to fix it, whereas Knuckles is using them for basically sports hunting as he's bored out of his mind. And he gets turbo grounded for causing chaos and destruction. To which his...
Well, no, he's about to get turbo grounded, but Sonic's like, well, let me have a chance talking to him first. Sonic has a pep talk with him, and then, convinces him to make himself at home. And so he does just that by converting their living room into a gladiatorial den and kidnapping the mailman to make him fight in a gladiatorial bout with the dog, and that results in him getting turbo grounded.
Knuckles is turbo grounded, stuck up in the really cool attic, and is visited by his ancestor,
Chief Pachacamac.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I got Christopher Lloyd jump scared. Did you recognize him as Doc from Back to the Future, or as Judge Doom from?
So, I used to watch a lot of Taxi back in the day, so I really should have recognized his voice, but I did not the first time. The second time, though, I was like, man, his voice sounds really familiar. So I looked it up, and I was like, oh, holy crap, it's Christopher Lloyd.
They just got Christopher Lloyd to be the wise old elder, and it's like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So that floored me immediately and set me like, does this have budget? Is there budget going on here?
I mean, the main character is voiced by Idris Elba.
Idris Elba's done TV before, though. Actually, Idris Elba does a lot of TV. I would consider Idris Elba as more of a TV actor than a movie actor.
But honestly, everything about the Knuckles series screams far less TV and more like, this is a movie, but we split it up into TV episodes.
I would like to challenge you on that, because each episode that they split it into is relatively self-contained and quite unique from every other episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just scenes from a movie. They're all very tonally different and stylistically different. Because this first one it feels just like the Sonic movie. It is just setting the stakes.
I mean, I'm sure it being the episode that has Sonic, Tails, and the Pretzel Lady goes a long way towards that.
Yes, but it is...
It's worth noting that was absolutely done to get people to watch it, because when it first came out, the first episode was for free to watch on YouTube, while the rest of it was only on Paramount.
Oh, these are good things to know.
So yes, Sonic, Tails, and Pretzel Lady being in there, 100% marketing.
But Knuckles immediately ignores that he's being grounded and goes on his quest to train a warrior, as given to him by Pachacamac. Now, is it confirmed that Knuckles is the last surviving echidna in this?
Yeah, Pachacamac
Like, they
tells
all
him
got
he is.
wiped out as part of the Owl Wars?
Pachacamac literally tells him he's the last echidna.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's wild to me.
Why is that wild? Like that's literally Knuckles' backstory in the games too. He's the last echidna.
I know, it's just it's wild to me that in a kids movie we're like discussing like complete eradication of an alien species that has to have happened on screen between movies. Or that has to have occurred between movies, not on screen.
Off screen. Very much off screen. Well, you also got to consider that the last time we saw the Echidna tribe, Sonic was like a little toddler.
It very much felt like they had the upper hand because they were coming after him in great numbers and there was only one owl. And then we never see anything more of the owls except for the fact that they must have built entire, like, temples on Earth.
But you never know. We could see more down the line when they decide to do a Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood movie.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was about to immediately go there. I was on the tip of my tongue. I was ready for it.
I knew it was. It's always on the tip of your tongue for some reason.
I love that that is the most because I haven't read the comics. So that's the only bit of like insane Sonic stuff that I have going for me.
Oh, well, it's really got nothing to do with the comics.
What? Oh, I'm gonna die.
Died in the base, too. I'm not going to be able to reach you in time, you know.
No. That's fine. Fun fact, as I was falling there, that's home base. There it is. As I was falling to my death, I got a perfectly crisp, clear line of Wendell going, I could devour a Billy Hog right about now.
So I do want to say, since you brought it up with the comics and all, the only similarity is that Ken Penders established like a whole Echidna family line, like surprise Knuckles isn't the last Echidna, and it was really dumb, poorly implemented. But he was like obsessed with that stuff, and like he got into like a whole legal battle with Archie trying to claim ownership of the characters he created for these storylines. And then he tried to sue Sega for doing their own take on surprise Knuckles isn't the last Echidna. Although really that was BioWare.
Weird, goofy nonsense.
But yeah, none of the characters from the Echidna's family line or whatever in the comics are present in Sonic Chronicles and vice versa.
Now, is there a reason why Knuckles fixates on Wade Whipple to be the like warrior that he trains?
Well, Pachacamac told him to. Specifically
Wade.
Yes. Did you forget that?
I don't remember. All I know is that we moved on to him going over to Wade's house, finding out that Wade is Wade has lost because interstitially here we find out that Wade is part of a bowling league, throws a really unfortunate. They don't even do a 7-10 split. They just leave it where he's one pin down.
No, it is a 7-10 split.
What?
It was a 7-10 split, I thought, and he hit one, and the other one was like teetering.
Right, that's it. He's not able to knock the pin down. I swear he needed a strike.
It could have been either, honestly. I thought it was.
I think it was like he needs a strike to win against the little girl and his.
The real focus is he needed to nail that shot, and it ended with one pin teetering and not falling down.
and his bounty hunter friend
Anyone else tired?
kicks him off
That's
from
me.
the team. And instead teams up with the little girl and her family because they have a really nice vehicle.
Because they're rich.
Yep. And they go down to Reno. He now doesn't have a bowling team. Don't forget to equip your hog stopper. That's what killed me, by the way, is having it equipped. And Wade is at home in his bedroom now, moping about this because he comes from a line of famous bowlers.
Did you get any pine cones yet?
I got the little bit of pine cone that I could. Yeah. But we're plumb out if you check the scanner.
I don't think we need any more mushroom slurry. Just so you know.
Oh, you never know.
We've got a full chest full.
Yeah. You've just got a little under 70 for pine cones. I can't really make the pine cones respawn any faster.
Hey, Fid.
Well, 70's enough for 35 pieces of roof.
We're gonna need a lot more than that to finish that roof, I think.
Probably.
35 might not even get you one side of it done. But yeah, we find out that Wade comes from a long line of, like, bowling royalty. Wade lives on his own, in his own house. He can afford that based off of his deputy sheriff's.
Well, it's probably not too expensive to live in Green Hills.
Probably not. Anyhow, directly behind Wade, this entire scene is a poster for the Big Lebowski, which had my jaw on the floor, being like, "Is this actually going to be? Is this going to line up?" It's not the bowling poster one though. It's the iconic one of, like, the zoom in on the dude with his shades, but his shades are the rug pattern.
Right.
So Knuckles and Wade are on the move. They're rolling out of Green Hills, and this immediately alerts gun agents that alien on the move, definitely not locked down. We need to go and procure this. And it feels like these two gun agents go rogue. And Gun also now has ring technology.
Yep.
They're just able to whip out the rings willy-nilly.
But they absolutely do go rogue, and they reveal that they're working with an illegal arms dealer who's making weapons based off of Knuckles' spines, which I guess also have the same kind of power that Sonic and Shadows do.
This is just the bad guy from Iron Man 2, by the way. It's just Mickey Rourke from Iron Man 2, the guy with the thunder whips.
But yeah,
to the point where his robot at the end has thunder whips or lightning whips.
Yeah, these two rogue gun agents agree to basically sell Knuckles to this guy, and they say they'll get him to him in 24 hours. And
Yep.
they use ring technology to go to the bowling alley where he and Wade are to kidnap him.
Because Wade is showing Knuckles, like, bowling is my passion. This is the thing that I'm good at. This is what we're going to go and do. We're going to the Mecca where all the bowlers gather, Reno. And not only that, my dad left me, so I also feel like I am abandoned and alone in a strange new place, trying to make a name for myself. You know, the thematic connection through line, so on and so forth.
The buddy bonding.
Yes. He doesn't mention that he could go to his mom's place, but that's we'll get to that later. Knuckles absolutely gets turbo captured. Wade gets his
Actually,
butt-
he beats their asses, but then a well-placed ring transports him directly to the special Knuckles-resistant cage that they had prepared.
It's the timeout box.
Yeah, one
Which,
that
honestly,
he can't bust open.
Yeah.
But no, he was absolutely wrecking shop with these gun agents before that ring was thrown at his feet and made him land in the timeout box.
And then Wade has to go and track them down, which is our episode 2, which is just Home Alone. They're just doing Home Alone. Dude, Jack, why am I always? Ugh. I would very much like to not fall down here at this moment in time, please, and thank you. I would like to be out of this area. There we go. So Wade has like his suit up montage where he goes to a gas station, grabs a bunch of disparate items to like sneak his way into this chateau, which is Ice Cap Zone, right?
Huh?
The chateau's name is like the Ice Cap Lodge.
Oh,
and it's
yeah. I only got around to rewatching the first episode, so you're gonna lose me on details.
No worries. But his great plan for beating up these agents in his head is all played out in montage.
Oh yeah. It actually shows him doing it, and then you realize that it was just the plan in his head afterward.
Yes, what actually happens is everything that he's bought immediately goes off and backfires to the point where he like blows up the truck of fireworks that he had before he even gets to the front door, which he was saving for the big finale. And that alerts the agents, and then he has to take them out one-on-one on more of a fair fight, as it were. He still does manage to cut the power. He gets his butt handed to him by the frankly psychotic, like, underground... The backstory of one of the agents is that he was, like, part of an underground fight ring, and it wasn't, like, enough violence for him, so he joined the military, and I'm like, whoa, what the heck?
Sounds like Ice.
Yeah, it's a wild backstory to have in what is ostensibly a kid's cartoon.
Well, I mean, yes, they are kids' cartoons, but they're more of like older kids.
Uh-oh. I have good news for you, Blau, and I have bad news for you, Blau.
Okay.
The good news is that the lint has respawned by the mitten.
Okay.
Yep. The bad news is that the lint has respawned by the mitten.
Okay. I'm still carrying grass pallets back to the base.
Oh, I'm still collecting gubbo over here. And also, do you really want me to do a lint run? Because like, that's me for the next 5 hours. And
No,
I'm not gonna be able to.
You can leave it for me. I'll do it.
I don't know for certain that the lint has respawned down there, but you'd want to check. And the other backstory is that the British lady, I think is just evil. She's just evil. She just likes being evil.
She's just trying to get money.
The British just like being evil. Where am I going? Why am I going here? Yeah, we made that jump.
I think they changed it so that when you run out of stamina completely, that it turns off your auto run. I don't like that.
I don't have auto run on.
Or not auto run. You're like running rather than walking.
For me, I always have to toggle with shift. Or not toggle, I have to just hold down shift. So this entire series is my pinky just dying.
Why didn't you ever set it to toggle?
That sounds like a thing that I should be able to do in the menu that I have not looked for.
Wow, you just really like to do things the hard way, huh?
I just don't expect there to be that much customization options.
So when's your V Let's Play? Since you like doing things the hard way.
I already did a VVVVV highlights death compilation. I don't do let's plays of things that I've highlight compilationed.
Wasn't it a highlight compilation of someone else playing it?
Yep.
Sounds like a cop out.
You don't need to see the exact same content on my channel.
Yes, we do, because we need to see you doing it and suffering. It's not about the content, it's about you suffering.
Oh, there's more things that I can do to find new and unique avenues of suffering.
Like playing Grounded 2 with me?
Oh, I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. The fact that I want you to realize that I am deathly allergic to early access games, and I'm still going to like pins and needles wanting to play this for you the minute that it drops.
We gotta get through this first, which, considering that comes out at the end of the month for early access, I don't think we're gonna be ready for. But I guess it does mean there will be a seamless transition from this over to Grounded 2 when we do finish with this.
Fair enough.
So that's good for the viewers, right?
You know me, I'm all about them seamless transitions. Where are...
I'm just about the transition.
Oh, pfft. I set you up for that one. I wasn't even thinking about it. Ugh. Ugh. Fine. You can have this one.
Maybe you could have seen it coming if you had your binoculars. Fart noises for that one? Really?
I'm just giving you fart noises at this point. It's what you get. It's what you deserve.
You know it made you
to get
chuckle.
us back on track with the And Knuckles recap, Wade does eventually manage to subdue the two rogue gun agents.
Yeah, because as they established in episode 1, they're also quite incompetent.
They're somewhat incompetent. Wade also starts to kind of like come into his own and like he's got some skills. He's got some skills to pay some bills. He's a bit of a coward.
I mean, he is a cop, so I mean, he's not totally out of his element like Donnie.
And he does manage to free Knuckles, and then we get the... I guess Knuckles glides a little bit in Sonic 2, but here we see him full on do, like, the glide for a short... He even says, I can't fly, I can glide for a short period of time. And for no good reason, they recreate the shot from E.T. where you have... Elliot, why do I know the kid's name from E.T.? And, like, on his bike as E.T. levitates it in front of the full moon. You know
God,
that
I have
famous
not
shot.
seen that movie in such a long time.
But you know the shot that I'm talking about. It's,
Yeah,
it's literally the logo.
The one thing that everyone remembers from that movie.
And it's on point, too, because Knuckles is an alien, right?
It gets referenced by, like, every single piece of media.
Yeah. It's incredibly iconic. And then he falls down, Blart, and because they're captured, Wade's like, well, I guess I'll need to call in a favor with some old acquaintances. Turns out to be his mom and his sister.
And his sister is also in law enforcement.
Sister's in the FBI. His sister seems much more incompetent than him. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, she definitely acts like she's still 12 years old.
They both do, and...
But it's more so her.
Yeah.
Like, Wade's just being Wade.
Don't look down.
You know,
Don't look
like,
down.
his personality is kind of that of, like, the idiot loser that never really grew up, but somehow has made it on his own.
He is the sitcom man-child. For the life of me, I don't think these pine cones have respawned.
But we'll find out that immaturity is a trait that runs in the family.
I would say comes from their dad's side. But yes, Wade drops home just in time, as it so happens to be, for the Shabbat dinner, which is a tradition in the Whipple house home, because they are good, observing Jewish faith.
I didn't know Whipple was a Jewish name.
I would have no idea. Would have no clue.
I have to assume that the Jewishness comes from their mom.
Yes. Their mom is overjoyed that her two kids are home for this important meal that they have cooked, and they're going to spend the entire time waiting for these Shabbat candles to burn down. This is important because there's a really cool fight scene later where they are the centerpiece, quite literally.
We also get to see Wade's room, and it looks like the bedroom of a, like, 6-year-old from the 90s.
This bedroom might be the one in which you see the background of the Big Lebowski poster, and also has... I don't know her name from the Greatest Warriors, America's Greatest Warriors.
Couldn't tell you. But that's a cardboard cutout, right?
Yes. But
Yeah, I think Knuckles made a comment about it, didn't he?
yes, and that she looks like a great warrior, and also why are there tear marks all over her? Surprisingly, Knuckles and Wade's mom like hit it off, and they like bond pretty well.
Oh yeah,
We
Wade's
get a little
mom
bit
loves Knuckles.
We get a little bit more backstory about... Oh, and like Knuckles likes...
Knuckles
Wade's
also
mom.
loves
Great
Wade's
warrior.
mom.
What?
Knuckles also loves Wade's mom.
Yeah, because she's great. Like, she's fantastic in this. We learn a little bit more about Pistol Pete Whipple at this point in time, and Wade's like spotty history with his dad and the bad breakup. He just like abandoned the family by the sounds of it. Wade is kind of like, dad's not a bad guy and the rest of the family is absolutely against that, and he's like, no, guy's a scumbag, he abandoned us, please stop idolizing him. And then, of course, the gun agents break in, wreck shop, except not really. The mom and Knuckles have this incredibly choreographed fight sequence as the camera like does a swooping 360 around the like centerpiece of these burning Shabbat candles that like they can't go out under any circumstance. We gotta let them burn all the way from the top to the bottom, and they're incorporated into this. It's great. It's actually inspired fight choreography. There's no reason for it to be here, but they dispatch the gun agents. No, these aren't the gun agents. I tell a lie. They're the Russian guys, thugs. It's a group of different guys who come by. Right?
I think so. I don't remember.
I want to say it's the Russian guys, thugs. And this is where Wade learns that there's other people out for him as well.
Yeah, because sister made the comment about them breaking into the house of a family of law enforcement.
Yep. And there's more than just two of them. There was a bunch of guys. It was a big action fight sequence. The house also gets absolutely destroyed, which is an ongoing like gag in these movies, I guess. Because the next episode opens with Wade being like, you know what? Yesterday was great. I reconciled with my family. I was able to kick a bunch of bad guys' butts. And you see him like getting ready for his day, just being like, today's gonna be fantastic. As like he opens the fridge and the whole door just falls off and there's a giant hole in the living room. And it's a good bit of like visual gag through juxtaposition. And then as soon as he finishes his line about how great the day is going to be, he gets lassoed and kidnapped by his old bowling partner, who was established as being a bounty hunter. Like, they set that up in episode 1, and it definitely comes back because Wade has a bounty put out on his head. And then Knuckles was like, I'm not going to help him. He needs to do this on his own. And we have an entirely Wade-focused episode where Wade is in the back of this electrified cage of his bounty hunter friends. Friend, apostrophe S. It's his bounty hunter friend's cage. Not that he has multiple friends who are bounty hunters. And we get a little bit of insight into... I wish I knew this actor's name who plays the bounty hunter friend, because he is excellent. He's doing some real good, like, comedic chops. I would call him discount Hugh Jackman, almost. He's got a Hugh Jackman-ish vibe to him. He was a little bit lankier, not so jacked. Hugh Lankyman.
I was about to make a joke about that.
This
He has a funny face though. You know, if he's gonna be lanky.
It's just like he's like sideburns and like very teeth forward.
Nope, you missed that one.
What?
Sorry, I was making a Donkey
Lanky
Kong
Kong. You got Lanky. I got it now.
No, you got it too late. Sorry.
Sorry, it's fine. Kong has a funny face. So, we can talk about DK another day.
Okay.
But Wade is trying to escape. Knuckles does not appear on screen in this episode hardly at all. This is very much the Wade show now. And by trying to escape, I need to repair. Oh no. Uh-oh. That could be a problem for me in the future.
Did you know that there was a Donkey Kong cartoon? Like in the 80s?
Blau, not only was there a Donkey Kong cartoon, that is a piece of famous Canadian animation.
Of course you know about it because it's Canadian.
Yes, because it's not because it's Canadian.
It's because it's Canadian.
It's because it's Canadian animation specifically. I can't tell you every movie that was made in Canada, but I have a real interest in early 3D animation and how it was pioneered.
Oh, no. You're not talking about the same cartoon I'm talking about. You're talking about that horrific monstrosity that came out like after Donkey Kong Country. I'm talking about the American-made cartoon that was like a Saturday morning cartoon that came out in the 80s based on like the arcade artwork.
This one, yeah, I'm not familiar with. No, I'm very much not familiar with that.
I've never seen it. I've only recently discovered that it existed. But no, you're talking about one that's based on Donkey Kong Country that came out in the 90s. And I'm talking about one that came out in the 80s based on the arcade. I was actually surprised to find out at the same time that I found out about this cartoon that they made a cartoon based on Kangaroo. A game that you've probably not heard of by the silence.
No, I can picture the Kangaroo from the game Kangaroo. I'm actually digging through crafting menus at the moment, though.
Anyway, I digress. We were talking about Knuckles.
We were. I'm digging through crafting menus at the moment, though, so give me a second. I was hoping you could vamp there.
Vamp? What do you mean by that?
Stall for time.
Oh, well now I
No,
can't. Now that you've said something.
No, it's fair. It's fair. What's the name of the barriers that we need to build that you were talking about?
Oh, they're like spike barriers or something. Why?
I'm looking for them.
Don't worry about it right now.
I just want to see where they are. Spike strip?
Yeah, spike strip.
I don't think that's them, because that's just a weed stem, thistle, sap, and crude rope. It
Well,
was a more...
if you'll notice, there's a second level, the splinter trap.
Oh, splinter trap. That would be why it's different.
Ash cement,
Splinter.
wooden splinter, and wet rope.
Wooden splinter. We need a bunch of wooden splinters. You know what? While I am waiting...
Well, it's about time to take a honk shoe, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking a honk shoe because those the resources have yet to respawn. I'm gonna have to go and do a termite mound. Extermite
Watch where
nation.
you stick that nose, Weevil.
Make sure you bring your leprechaun hat.
Good call. Actually, I keep my leprechaun hat on me right now. That dissection expert. Yeah,
Rascal
I'll gear
Rogue.
up. And get,
Oh,
I'll gear
did
up and
I
get myself all.
did I ever make a clone of the gum? That also increases your odds of stealing, which you should use on the termite king.
But back to Knuckles after a large digression. Wade, in this electric cage, when he tries to escape, he gets electrified, shocks himself, goes unconscious, and goes to a psychedelic bowling alley, in which is manned by Pachacamac. Which has to be a reference to the Big Lebowski. And then they do an entire episode worth of rock opera musical numbers with puppets. And, like, actually pretty inventive cinematography. Like, we're not talking here, like, Jim Henson level puppets. We're talking, like, this is clearly supposed to be, like, a amateur... No, off-Broadway level of, like, musical theater puppetry. And this is the episode that had my jaw on the floor the entire time, smiling ear to ear, going, this is exactly my kind of nonsense. This is what I want to be watching. I love this. This is perfect. This is great. No notes. I'm looking.
Also, where you had in the back of your mind saying, "Damn you, she was right."
No, this was I lost it. At this point, I was bought in. I was here for it. Wade learns that a warrior's greatest strength comes from their heart through these, like, again, it's like a 15-minute long rock opera split in half, mind you. And then he breaks out of the cage and does, like, a jousting.
It's also worth noting that he's in a very poor Knuckles costume. Wade is.
In the dream sequence, yes.
I shall name it.
And it has to be a real. I guess I should say it has to be a real spiritual dream sequence because Pachacamac is there, and there's no way that Wade would have any reference to what Pachacamac looks like. So this has to be authentic in some regards. I've completely lost what I'm doing. I'm just staring at a blank screen right now.
Lost the plot, huh?
Well, I'm looking for termite soldiers are weak to stabbing.
They're all weak to salt.
What?
Didn't I give you a salty rusty spear?
I have a salt morning star. I'll take a salt rusty spear if you got one.
I thought I gave you one that you have in your equipment.
I don't have one in my equipment that I'm able to see.
Well, as you
No
know, we
spear.
don't have any raw science to clone anything. So, if you don't have one,
Oh.
then...
We have a rusty spear. I just don't think it's salt yet. I could take this level 5 rusty spear. See about upgrading it to...
really not worth it because I have a level 7 salty rusty spear.
Now, where are you? I steal that off you?
I'm coming up to the entrance of the base.
Base, 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 base. Hello. Where are you? Yeah, that'll do. Let's see about putting that on a hotbar. Okie dokie.
Much better to clone a weapon rather than craft the same exact type of weapon.
Would Javelin
Raw science, it's a much easier to come by resource.
Is Javelineer the thing that I'm looking to equip in that regards?
Yes.
And Dissection Expert is there. Okay. Okay. I've got some healing on me. Well, we're gonna see what I can't do in the back corner here. So Wade, now that he has the true strength of a warrior, breaks out of the cage, steals a kid bike through the power of being able to commandeer it for law enforcement as his greatest enemy, or his ally turned enemy, who has luscious long hair. We haven't mentioned that. They have like a samurai duel. He gets thrown a samurai sword at one point.
Yep.
They joust. His partner gets his hair chopped off instead of his head. You think it was going to be like I pull your head off shot, but no, it's just his hair. And Wade rides back to his family home on the chopper and the cool bowling jacket that he got from his defeated enemy. And Wade is now a true warrior.
I think they made a big deal about the fact that he gave up just because his hair got chopped off.
Maybe. Maybe.
Almost got all of these pallets finally.
Nice.
Just 4 left. Then maybe I can do a light run.
Our next episode, Reno Baby, is just... Oh, right, and Knuckles gets the cowboy hat. Knuckles gets his iconic cowboy hat here as well. Because Wade has the cowboy hat and gives it to Knuckles. The cowboy hat that this bounty hunter has been wearing the entire series. Right.
The cowboy hat that is iconic for Knuckles because of the OVA. The only place he's ever seen wearing it besides this.
Knuckles' iconic cowboy hat, like I said.
No, you're right. It is iconic. People never shut up about it, but like that was the only place he had worn it. It was the OVA.
It is incredibly iconic, and it is Knuckles, and it is a cowboy hat. I don't know how much clearer I can make this. And they ride into Reno, which is, is this the casino zone? I feel like this is Casino Zone.
I think you're trying to relate things to the game too much.
I'm saying that they do an almost like shot for shot of them looking at the outside of a casino that is similar to the one from Sonic Adventure 1. And I also don't think it's wrong of me to say that I'm trying to relate things to the games too much when this is actually a Sonic the Hedgehog. Like we're still operating in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie territory where they are being reverent to the games and trying to get in as many references as possible to that.
They're being a little more reverent to it, but this is still very much the same movie series that created Ugly Sonic.
Again, I feel like that's just first Sonic movie, not this one.
I mean, like, you can see that they're I want to say lack of respect, but it's not so much lack of respect, but more like not really giving the games their full due with references all the way through the third movie.
I would say the second movie is very reference heavy to the games. Like it's got lots of little like nods and Easter eggs and things from the snowboarding sequence to the Mean Bean Machine. Like and this movie is operating on that level as well. It's got Ice Cap Lodge, and it's got this casino zone thing. And I should have seen the casino angle coming when they've been talking about Reno this entire series, but no, it took me up until them like arriving in town to be like, oh, I get it now.
I don't know. I think that one might be a stretch unless it was called like Casino Night or something.
That I couldn't tell you.
Just because like they're going to a place that's famous for having casinos, so
yeah. And this is the first time in the Sonic series that they have done that. And I'm like, oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down here. I get it. Ow. I didn't know you guys exploded. That sucks. I hate that for me. But as they're walking into the casino, Knuckles is like, ah, yes, this is a good battleground for warriors. Also, I hear that Kevin James is playing, and I was like, you can't just drop the Blart like that on me. I was not prepared for this to have a Blart connection.
Not only that, but didn't they directly reference it by calling him a mall cop or something?
The mall cop, yes. And then who's to show up, because we haven't actually seen who Pistol Pete Whipple is up until this point. Like that he's been named, but we don't get to see the actor playing Wade's dad. And
we saw him on a poster in his room.
I didn't clue in that it was the most British looking actor in all of cinema, the guy who plays Wesley from The Princess Bride. But
not only that, but being British is like his whole persona.
Well, and that's the joke from Men in Tights that actor also plays. Robin Hood.
I thought he was the same
all
actor.
Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent.
I thought he looked familiar.
And he's hamming it up, and he actually seems like he's very much one, an attention hog, and two, like, high off of his own, like, farts on I'm the greatest, everyone else is beneath me. But Wade goes up to talk to him and is being coached by Knuckles, and in a comedic, like, earpiece scene where Knuckles then immediately gets distracted because a mascot convention is going on, and that's how they're able to, like, have Knuckles walking around, but people not be freaked out by the fact that there is a weird echidna alien poking about. And yeah, Wade seems to, like, make a genuine connection with his dad, and I'm like, are they going to reconcile and have a healthy estranged father relationship show up here? Or are they going to fall back on the trope about this guy is actually evil and or just completely doesn't care and only cares about Wade because he's, like, showing him attention at this point in time? Guess what this decides to do? I need to heal. I'm having issues. I need to heal again, please and thank you. I'm doing the heavy clicky thing. It's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Can we please? There we go. But yes, as it turns out, Wade's mom cautions him against, like, being too close with his father because all that man has ever done is just leave you in heartache. And lo and behold, Wade's dad will absolutely betray them and sell them out to the gun soldiers, or the two rogue gun agents, with very little convincing after they have tied up Wade's mom and sister, who also accompanied him for the bowling trip. Because why not? Everyone wants to go and take a trip down to Reno, right?
Sure.
Okay, I have made it down here. I'm looking for more. I'm looking for more things to do. So yes, Wade goes up to the penthouse suite to spend more time with his dad. They have some comments about, like, how this never been in. Why did I just get one brittle marble shard? That's weird. I've never been into a hotel room where anyone has ever had to say right this way before. That's how big it is in the penthouse suite. And is presented with his mom and his sister tied up at gunpoint by the gun agents. Do you need to say gunpoint when it's gun agents, or is that redundant?
Agent point.
What?
I was making a dumb joke. You could feel free to ignore it.
Already ahead of you there, ma'am. And so, in exchange for releasing his mother and sister, the gun agents are forcing him to lure Knuckles in as a trap, which is the setup for the final episode, where it turns out that Wade didn't actually sell out Knuckles. He alerted him beforehand, and this allows Knuckles to ambush the gun agents and dispatch them and free his mom and his sister, except his sister refused to be freed by Wade because she wants to do the FBI thing and break her own thumb to get out of the cuffs. This leads to a disgusting bit of practical effects where her thumb is just bent all the hell out of shape, and it's gross. It's bad. I do not like it. Ow! That hurt. Maybe don't do that. Ew. Termite King go split. Oh, you really are just. Oh, you'll follow me out here, eh?
Did you put your gum on?
I don't have the gum.
You got
There was
Rascal
no
Rogue
extra
equipped?
gum in the trinket boxes.
I thought there was.
I looked and I didn't see it. But I do have Dissection Expert, and I am wearing my silly little hat. So, you know. Man, he does not like getting stabbed in the face. Ow, I also don't like getting stabbed in the face, though. You know what? That sucks. But I have now managed to collect a lot of the things. Got more termites down here? We got a couple more termites. Wade then goes on. This is not just the finale of big action sequences. No, we have an entire, like, bowling teams montage now. Hold on. What is in my inventory that I can get rid of? That.
Oh, Jesus.
There we go. Dang, I should grab that, but I can't. Oh, that's not going to be helpful.
Roly-poly, rolling through.
You can go out here. There we go. We have they have an entire tournament's worth of bowling. Like of the bowling teams. I don't know how to describe this, and they're all really like visually interesting, like gimmick names and teams that they just have this entire bowling montage for, as they slowly get knocked out, and Wade climbs up the ladder fighting his dad's like Lord British team, and it's excellently shot. It's honestly one of the best like sports montages I've seen in a long time. It's fantastic front to back. Wade, of course, gets into the precarious situation that he was in initially, where he has to get a strike to win. It looks like he's almost not about to get it, but it does finally fall down at the last second. He wins the big tournament, only for the big bad Russian guy to break through the wall at the last second. And I want to say last time I called out, like, you just said, oh, this is a bowling series. And I was like, let me guess. It's going to end the climax on him having one pin that needs to be knocked down, and then Knuckles smashes a bad guy through a wall and knocks the pin down. And this subverted my expectation on that, because no, he wins just all on his own, and then seconds later we have the big crash. I don't know if that's good screenwriting or bad screenwriting. You be the judge. Then we have the CGI fight with the CGI bad guy, as Knuckles looks like he's about to get knocked out, but then through a big pep talk by Wade, he comes back and also is Big Bad Warrior now. Not that there was any ever struggle for, like, Knuckles does not have an arc in this series.
I mean, it wouldn't have worked for him to have an arc.
Like, Knuckles doesn't learn anything. Knuckles doesn't grow as a character.
That's not entirely true.
What does Knuckles learn?
He does learn to let loose a little.
I guess so. He is exposed to more of Earth culture, and eventually he learns what his jam is, being the title sequence to this, or the song from the title sequence. And yeah, Wade Whipple wins the bowling tournament. The evil Russian bad guy is defeated. The gun agents are turned in for being traitors, and everyone goes back home to Green Hill Zone.
Yep.
That's the series.
Yep.
I
And
guess
so
make it no
I
longer-
stand by my statements that it's just Big Lebowski for kids.
So much of Big Lebowski is wrapped up in like the mystery subplots of like all of these different parties, be it the nihilists or the kidnappers or Maud or the Big Lebowski, who all is hunting who is using who, where's this trail of the money going. And I don't feel like there is any mystery whatsoever in the Knuckles TV show. And so I don't see how there are character parallels, but not so much plot parallels.
Honestly, the mystery in Big Lebowski is not really even like the point of the Big Lebowski.
Well, the point of the Big Lebowski is there's no point.
Right. Like, the mystery exists as a vehicle for the movie to move along with. Similar to the whole bowling thing being a vehicle for Knuckles to move along with.
Alright, I am going to leave your spear here. Put that back on. Yeah, there was no bonus gum back home, unfortunately. Where is your spear? In my hand, probably still. No? Then why can't I find it? There it is. The termites have been exterminated. I'm going to... Do you have resource scanner set to lint at the moment?
I haven't used resource scanner at all.
Okay, I'm going to go and check to see if... I feel like the resource scanner, you have to reuse it.
Yes, you do have to reuse it to recheck for things.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to resource scanner to see where we're at for pine cones. But yeah, I actually I enjoyed my time with and Knuckles. It was better than it had any right to be.
Which is more than you could say for Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yes. Looks like pine cones have respawned. Whereabouts are you? Oh,
Do
I
what?
see where you are. You're underground. Alright, I guess I'm going to pine cone at night then. I want my pine cones at night. Can I just... Do we want to get into the Blart of it all at the moment?
We can. Or we can take a break to talk about Princess Bride.
I think I would rather get Blart out of the way today, and I don't know if we're going to get to Princess Bride.
I mean, is there really that much to say about Blart?
Blart is such a weird friggin' series. I don't know how to begin with it. All right? Okay. Just off the bat, I don't know what your stance on this is necessarily, but Blart is not a cab. Blart idolizes the police and the military. It sets them up as the idealized thing that Mr. Blart is going for. He wants to be a cop so bad. And this is a guy who very clearly should not be a cop. Not because of any shortcomings in his physical prowess. In fact, I think the entire time in the series, he's shown to be incredibly dexterous in moments. he pulls off some pretty amazing feats. He's even doing all right at the like police fitness entrance exam. Like he's hauling butt. I needed to repair a thing before I run away because I'm doing this at night. There we go. Oh yeah, we are cold chunked up. But he shouldn't be a cop because all he wants to do is like violence and escalated force. He has absolutely no de-escalation in him at all. His immediate response to just about everything is to fly off the handle.
That sounds like the ideal candidate for a cop in America.
Oh no, that seems like the people that they end up recruiting. Like again, but the movie doesn't ever come down against him in that regard. I don't know why.
No,
why I come up with this.
no, of course it doesn't.
No, it treats his only shortcoming as the fact that he is diabetic and overweight.
Yep, sure does.
Like that's his problem, is that he can't keep his weight in check while also being diabetic.
So what you're saying is the movie is propaganda.
Very much so. Like very, very much so. And it is both propaganda while also being just so very degrading to its main character. And I would almost feel bad for Kevin James being put in this role if I didn't also know the fact that he was a co-writer for the script. Like, he wrote himself this way.
At least
it is a Happy Madison film. You know, the
Adam Sandler company, yeah.
Yes.
So that should immediately put you on guard for it not taking the best political correctness.
I don't know if it's a matter of political correctness, but just the fact that it's like, when I think Happy Madison films, I think, oh, the protagonist is going to be a man-child.
Right.
And not in the way that, like, Wade Whipple is a man-child, in just, like, he's not particularly, like, socially, emotionally adept. And this movie is it's just mean to Mr. Blart. We see him trying to get into like pass the exam to become a police officer, and falling short, literally, like, I'm gonna do the Matt's lint here because it's respawned, just a heads up. Falling short just inches from the finish line because he passes out he has the most sudden onset, like, diabetic coma nonsense. Like, it is
hypoglycemia.
Yeah. It is, I used to do, like, semi-competitive, like, long distance running. And I do enjoy running still. But not to that level. Have you ever heard of the concept of, like, hitting the wall?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is just that, where 1 second you're doing fine, and then the next second your entire body is just done. You completely stop. You could not move another muscle. This happens to him several times. It's always the butt of the joke. Like, it is meant to be like comedic Looney Tunes wacky shack nonsense.
They do it a lot less in the second one, though.
I think they do it once.
Yeah, like once or twice, maybe.
I can only think of the one time in the second one. But anyways, Blart, for the, like, 17th time, does not get to... Can I go here next? Place with, please. Thank you. Does not get into the police academy, and instead has to return to his job as
mall cop.
As a mall cop. They also bring up the fact that he is a divorced dad living with his mom because his first wife only married him to get citizenship and then left him, which is just sucks.
Yeah, that's
Sucks
more
so
awful propaganda.
Yep. I will say this though, Blart is not an awful dad. I would say.
Well, not in the first one.
Mosquito repellent when you need it.
I don't think he's
He's
even
pretty
portrayed as
bad in
a
the
bad
second one.
guy. Is he?
He's pretty bad.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Maybe not in the neglectful way like you're probably alluding to, but I'll just say I don't approve of his methods.
Because the way that I read it in the second movie, jumping way ahead, is that his daughter gets accepted into another college and then just doesn't tell his dad that she was accepted in this other college and takes it upon herself to be like, actually, I don't know if I'm going to go there because I realize you're going through hard times. And
We can talk about that when we get to the second movie.
Because of bad communication in the second one, they end up having a minor fight and then immediately make up. But regardless,
We can talk about that when we get to it.
it is established early on that Blart is unfulfilled at his job, has a broken marriage, and also he has a crush on the new girl at the kiosk.
I don't know if she's a new girl, but he just has a crush on her.
It feels so the way that I read it in the movie, and it's not really, I don't think it's explained, is that like she has to be new because every other mall kiosk person treats her like it's new. Like, oh, you should come with us to get drinks tonight, and oh, I fancy meeting you here at the bank. Let me introduce myself. I'm the pen salesman. It's like no one else has ever really noticed her before until the movie started rolling, whereas it feels like every other character has this like established rapport with every other character, like the cell phone shop guy or the hot sauce guy. And I kind of like that all of they could have done the Coen brothers thing of all of these individual side characters feeling like they are fleshed out and nuanced in their own right, and them all being like background characters at a mall. No one is a shop owner at the mall in this movie. They're all the little kiosk people in between. I like that it's the like misfits of the misfits sort of vibe, you know? To cough there for a second. But anyways, Blart makes a bit of a fool of himself in front of his new recruit, one of the new guys at Mall Cop Academy, and also a fool of himself in front of his crush, the hair extension lady. I'm just gonna call her. I don't know her name. I don't know anyone's name here. And then he also gets blackout drunk when the gang goes to get drinks after work, in like pre-preparation for what is Black Friday. It is explained that Black Friday is coming up, and this is the moment that I remembered that.
You want to know how unimportant the actual setting the Black Friday thing is?
The Black Friday thing is very important to the setting.
No, it's so unimportant to the setting. And you want to know why?
Why?
I watched the entire first movie. It did not at any point register that it was Black Friday until the second movie kept saying the Black Friday incident.
I would argue that Black Friday is incredibly important because that's the whole bad guy's plot, because this is the moment I remember it's just Die Hard. And I could not in good faith give Blau more homework and find out the fact that she has not watched Die Hard. Have you watched Die Hard, Blau?
Hmm?
Blau?
Did you say something?
Have you watched Die Hard?
Which one?
The first one.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought. The plot of Die Hard
I know the plot of Die Hard.
is John McClane, retired cop.
Die Hard has been completely spoiled for me.
Yeah, Die Hard is John McClane, the retired cop, gets locked into an office building and has to thwart a bunch of terrorists, except they're not actually terrorists. The hostages that they've taken are just an excuse for them to do a bank robbery.
Okay, so you say it being Black Friday is important. Give me one reason why it needed to be Black Friday and it couldn't just be any random day.
Because Black Friday is specifically the day where there is the most economic that's the whole point of Black Friday, is that it's when your tills run over from being in the red to being in the black. So this allows for Mr. Hacker Guy to get away with moving more money that day than any other day in the year. That's his plot, and he says as much.
Okay, so outside of the monetary value, which really isn't important, what reason is there for this to be Black Friday?
The heist is for that. It has the heist has to happen on Black Friday.
I'm just saying, Black Friday was so unimportant to the plot. It was so
It's
unimportant.
important to the bad guy's plot, which takes up a lot of the friggin' time in this movie. I'll give Paul Blart this, Blau. It's a 90-minute movie. It's a 90-minute movie that felt longer than watching all of the bloody Knuckles series. Oh my goodness, does this movie drag? I cannot believe that there is a 30-minute segment of this movie which is just Blart getting blotto at the bar and making a fool of himself and getting a tattoo on his butt, a tramp stamp. I have pine
Hey,
coned.
I'm gonna fall asleep standing up if we go much
I
longer.
think I have sufficiently pine coned. I'm coming back to base. You'll have to bear with me. I didn't realize you were a big sleepo.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, after making a fool of himself in front of his crush, the whole mall gets ready for Black Friday, and Blart finds himself taking care of the arcade for a friend, plays Detroit Rock City on Rock Band, which might be the single best advertisement for Rock Band at the time. This is very much a 2000 and... Do you want to guess what year this movie came out?
2006.
I thought it was 2006. It's late. It's 2009. I thought this was way sooner. But as Blart is completely locked himself inside the arcade blasting Rock Band, the bank robbers, who are a bunch of, I guess, BMX and parkour bank robbers, because they do a bunch of parkour and BMX and skateboard tricks around the mall. So they're like, what if the mall hooligans were bad? There are moments of brilliance in this movie that just never congeal into anything significant. They tie everyone up. Blart is given a cell phone because he's also
ninjas, more like nanjas.
Yeah, exactly. He's given a cell phone from the owner of the cell phone kiosks.
Are we gonna have to watch that movie
too?
too?
What?
We're gonna have to watch that movie too.
Yes, we will have to watch Speed Racer at some point. Well, actually, what we need to do, Blau, is I need you to watch every single Wachowski sisters movies. Have you seen all of the Matrixes?
Yes. Well, all the ones they were involved in.
They were involved in all of the Matrixes.
They weren't involved in the one that just came out.
Yes, they were.
Are you sure about that? Everything.
Absolutely. I believe
Everything I saw said they didn't have any involvement in it.
No, I think Lily wrote it herself. Just double check on that one. Yeah, it's directed by Lana Wachowski and written by Lana and Lily.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen the latest one then.
Yeah, it's it's entirely them reckoning with their different topic, different day. Different topic, different day.
Perhaps we should make camp for the night?
I have lost my synopsis page. There we go. Because I absolutely need a synopsis page for this. The mall's taken over, and it's revealed that the new recruit trainee that Blart was showing around the mall was actually only ever in it because he needed to get, like, mall access and being able to shut down the mall.
I see where my confusion came from. The latest one was only directed by Lana.
Yes, but it was written by both of them. Termites are mad.
I wonder why.
I dropped off 69 pine cones. Nice. Ooh.
Why did you suddenly bring up the Matrix, though? I'm kind of curious on that. Did you just think I hadn't seen them?
I brought up the Matrix because they're directed by the Wachowski sisters, same as Speed Racer.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't actually seen Speed Racer, but I have seen.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the original trilogy of the Matrix.
Well, Bob's not going to be able to hear this, and neither is Dan, because why would they watch our stuff? I also haven't seen Speed Racer.
Oh, well, I guess it'll be fun for both of us.
Do you want to know the reason I haven't seen Speed Racer?
Why?
Because it's not a movie that I want to watch on a streaming platform. I want to get, like, a Speed Racer 4K, because that movie absolutely annihilates bit rates. It is... Every little bit of it that I've seen just chews up the screen because it is like Particle Effects, the movie. And I want to be able to see it without that. I don't want it encoded terribly. Termites? Where are they delivering payback?
Looks like they might be at our sap collectors.
I would really prefer if they didn't. Have you been collecting sap here?
I have not.
I should probably do that. But yes, it turns out that Blart's, like, new recruit, surprise, surprise, is actually an evil genius mastermind. And was just using him to gain access to the mall. Or, I guess, using his position, not even Blart specifically. There's no reason that Blart is involved in this other than he gets left behind in the mall. I was mentioning that he has a cell phone from the daughter of the guy who runs the shack, because we also then get to have weird Pahood interlude. Just a weird sentence that I get to say.
Oh, hey, Termite King.
What?
A Termite King.
Where?
Right here.
The actual Termite King is just here?
Yeah.
Part of the raid.
Uh-huh.
You're joshing me. Look at that! What the heck? I don't have anything icy on me.
He hit like a truck.
I don't have anything salty. Oh, maybe I do. Hold on.
How about putting Reliable Friend on and getting me up?
Because I don't have Quick Swap on me.
Ugh.
Hold on, I'm doing it. Where's reliable friend in here?
It's on the left.
No, I'm gonna die because I'm in menus. I don't have any of that set up.
Willow! Willow!
Thanks for saving.
There you go. I do have a club. There we go. Hey, get back here! What the heck? Why is he running away?
I don't know.
Did they consider payback delivered? Did they get other stuff up top?
No, we got raw science, so we repelled them.
I'm so confused.
I'm a little upset we didn't get any Termite King parts from that Termite King. And he hit like a truck. Unless they're on the ground over there. I forgot my inventory's full.
I didn't check. You might want to go back. He wasn't hitting that hard when I was fighting him. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Are you wearing weird armor right now?
I am wearing the termite armor. It's a little bit weaker than what I usually wear.
Weird.
I don't know. There's too much crap over here. I don't remember exactly where I looted him at. Well, let's see. It was near the Billy Hog, right? Because he was running away.
Yeah, I want to say so. I've deposited more sap.
I don't recall seeing anything fall out of him.
What do we need Termite King parts for?
I mean, we don't need them for anything right now. It's just they're really rare.
Right. I went and got a bunch of wooden splinters. What does ash cement require?
Scrabble along, comrade.
Charcoal.
Is that something like a grinder needs? Oh, Everchar. I would assume that that has been restocked. Let me go and do a run over there. As I also make sure to put my mutation on of... Not you, but... you.
Oh, nothing like waking up and getting raided by termites.
I'm very confused about what's happening. It's fine. I guess I'll want you on. I might as well throw you on. Okay, alright. I now know what I'm doing again. Charcoal's happening. Right. Okay. So I'm re-catching up with the plot line. Yeah. No. The Black Friday thing is important because Vec's whole plan. By the way, his name is Vec, which is the weirdest name I have ever heard.
It's not important though because you could remove it and it would change nothing.
Vec wants to get all of the credit card codes, which change every day, like the debit machines get reset. But because it's Black Friday, they're going to have all of those codes still in them. He'll be able to steal, like, siphon money from a bunch of bank accounts and fly off to the Cayman Islands. And he'll take the hostages with him at gunpoint. So Blart does a bunch of stealthing around the mall, taking out all of these like hijackers in the process, one by one, systematically. Some of them hijinks related, some of them just seem to like take themselves out.
I think the very first one and the only female in the bunch, which is a big deal because he doesn't hit women. He takes out by being in the vents trying to escape from their deadly weapons, and it just kind of collapses and falls on her.
Right, because that's a bit from Die Hard 1, where John McClane is running around in the vents, but here it's played as, haha, Paul Blart is overweight. Oh, which is fine. I'm so tired already. I'm so tired.
You sound very annoyed.
I just don't get it. Again, I would feel bad for Kevin James if not for the fact that he is a co-writer of this movie and wrote himself this way. I'm about to burn to death. It's fine. I'm wearing my anti-sizzle armor. Eventually it is found out that Blart is in the mall still. His daughter at one point shows up because she's bringing him his food. Blart continually passes out due to hypoglycemia. Can you please... There. Can I have... There we go. Thank you. And... Vex and him eventually have a standoff. Blart does an incredible feat of dexterity where he, like, gets hot sauce in Vex's eye from halfway across the room, tying back in the hot sauce vendor character, I guess. But, oh yeah, and of course this entire time, the creepy pen salesman has been hitting on wig salesman, who is the ostensible love interest of this film. And it turns out that he will just sell her out. This is direct plot from Die Hard. It's the guy that and John McClane's wife. I don't feel like I need to go into this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to burn to death again. While I wait for that to cool off, Vex escapes with the hostages because Blart does not take his moment to, like, do anything. He's just so in shock that his feat of dexterity got him anywhere. And Vex makes it on his getaway to the getaway plane. Meanwhile, the military have been called in to, like, take the handover. It turns out that the main military guy knows Paul Blart from high school and used to make fun of him. So it gets in, like, high school bullying as well, which you're supposed to laugh at and be kind of on the side. The movie does not do a good job of making you, like, be on the side of Paul. Paul is just kind of a terrible human being all the way throughout. And it just so happens that because everyone else around him sucks way worse than he does, you by default go, well, I guess I'm rooting for him to win. It's weird. It's weird, and I don't like it.
Sure, don't like it.
Yep. The military and Blart team up, and because Vex has the cell phone that was lent to Paul, which was the cell phone of the daughter of the guy at the kiosk, and the daughter's boyfriend was tracking the cell phone. Like, they set all of this up in what feels like interstitial, like, nonsense cutaways, but they're able to track where Vex is going and find out where his getaway plane is. And Blart takes down Vex, only to be at the last second I'm so tired. Double-crossed by the military
like you are just
guy.
done with this.
I don't understand why this is what the movie is about. I don't understand how all of this gets like pulled together at the end. It's and you could see how much I enjoyed this kind of like labyrinthine plot when we were talking about Big Lebowski, but here not so much. And then because Blart is a big action hero man who did the action hero man stuff, actually the hair extension lady wants to go out with him, I guess. I mean, she was already kind of into him to begin with. Like, he is charming in a goofy, schlubby way. In the circles that I run, we would call him like quirked up and goofy, and that's how he gets the girl by just being a goofy little guy. And I can relate to that.
You're a goofy little guy.
No, it takes until he's like big action hero that she actually like begins to respect him again. And that's the end of the movie. Blart also, I guess, gets offered a job to be part of like the police force, and he turns it down because he's like, no, actually, the mall needs me more.
And he gets married to the kiosk lady.
He does not get married to the kiosk.
He does. He does. He absolutely
gets married to the kiosk lady off screen.
Nope, it's not off screen. It's in the credits. Which
you
famously do not watch the credits.
Blau, I could not wait to close the tab in which I was watching Paul Blart 1. I was like,
but yes,
oh, thank goodness they are rolling credits.
100%. He gets married to her during the credits.
Couldn't care less. Guess how long that sticks around.
Well, in fact, that kind of sets us up for Paul Blart 2, doesn't it?
Oh, you can take point on Blart 2.
Did you not watch it?
I did watch Blart 2.
Well, I mean, it starts out with
all the talking for a while. I need a moment.
It kind of starts out with her divorcing him.
It's brought up that she divorced him off screen.
Yes. But like that's how the movie that is how the movie opens, is talking about how she divorced him.
What's the other tragedy that happens that is shown on screen?
Yeah, his mom gets run over by a milk truck.
His mom gets isekai'd.
So does that mean Paul Blart 3 is going to star his mom?
Yes, absolutely.
In like a fantasy world?
I would bet dollars to donuts that there is a Paul Blart isekai like fan fiction out there. Like that's if not, feel free to write that.
I'll pass.
I'm talking to the view, not you. I'm talking to the viewers. I'm letting them get in on it.
I'll save my writing talents for something worth it.
Please. Dang it. But go on.
I'm sorry, I'm not really good at giving these recaps. Because unlike you, I don't have a synopsis pulled up in front of me.
I'm playing the game. I look over at the synopsis whenever we get off topic so I can remember where we were in the movie. That's all the synopsis is. Everything else is straight off the dome. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I did not rewatch The Big Lebowski. I had The Big Lebowski on lock in memory like that. I didn't even pull up a Big Lebowski plot synopsis. That movie lives rent-free in my head.
It's not even that good a movie.
It's maybe not even in the top 5 Coen Brothers movies for me. They have so many movies, Blau, and I love them with my whole heart.
I just don't think it's a very good movie. Like, it's fine. It's got a lot of good one-liners in it.
It's better than Paul Blart 1 and 2.
Well, I'm not gonna argue that.
Oh.
Uh,
But yeah, Maya is the name of Blart's daughter. Gets a letter that she's going to, that she's been accepted to whatever college she was super excited for. Whereas at the same time, Blart gets a letter saying that that he's been invited to not speak, but just invited to attend like the mall cop convention in Vegas. So you could say that this movie is kind of like the Knuckles series, and that they both have to end up going to like a big convention at a casino.
except one of these is much better than the other.
Yes, Knuckles is way better.
Uh,
And also this is where Blart like has his moment of being like, everyone in my life abandons me, and I'm all alone. But thank goodness I have you.
yes, and that's why she doesn't tell him.
But it's not like he's trying to guilt her. Like,
But he does.
but he's not trying to. He's
But he
literally just
does.
sharing.
And honestly, that's not even why I was kind of harsh on his parenting. We actually see why I was harsh on his parenting shortly after they get to Vegas.
Go on.
Because she, Paul Blart is like trying to check in and acting like a big shot or whatever. Meanwhile, his daughter goes off to the restaurant, which I think is by the pool, and starts talking to one of the employees, who's like a dude her age that is handsome and attractive and all that, and she's into him and he's into her. So when Paul Blart gets done trying to check in, and I just want to mention here that the guy playing I don't know what the term is, the clerk or whatever for the hotel, is the same guy that played Mateo in Superstore, which show me and my wife have been watching. But yeah, anyway, that stuck out in my mind. Only because of a different show I've been watching.
That's fair enough.
But
Can't sleep yet.
so once he catches back up with his daughter, finds her with this guy, he like goes into overprotective dad mode, and I'm like, nah.
I want to point out that I don't think Blart is being a big shot at the hotel checkout. What he's doing is being a cheapskate. He doesn't want like any help with his bags or anyone else to like park his car or anything like that.
That too. Even though the valet was free.
Yes. Well, he doesn't know that. And which is a new... Blart has never been a cheapskate before. This is a new character trait that really doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
I feel a little less squishy.
But yeah, anyway, he goes into like overprotective dad mode, and then the manager of the hotel comes over and like apologizes for the delay in him getting his room because it wasn't ready when he was trying to check in, and he thinks she's hitting on him, and she totally isn't, but like he's so persistent about like turning down her advances that she begins to even question herself.
I was torn between, is this like out of nowhere misogyny from Blart, or is this him just trying to emotionally protect himself because he has been hurt 2 times before, and he's just like, nope, I cannot get romantically involved, period.
I think it's probably a little of column A and a little column B and a little more column A.
Probably a healthy bit more of column A. Let's be real here.
Honestly, it's probably giving Kevin James and whoever wrote this with him too much credit.
I don't know if Kevin James was a writer on the second one. Let me double check. Damn it! No, yeah, yeah. He also wrote the second one, so every flaw with Blart was run by the guy who would play him. Can't believe these stupid movies. I hate it. I give them the out, and they just be like, nah, we're digging in.
Oh, I'm just losing it with how much you hate this movie. Where were we?
Blart was being potentially sexist, and then also a fellow security guard like comes up and is like, "Hey, just a heads up, I heard you might be the keynote speaker at this convention," and that gets Blart like on red alert, feeling like he's a big shot because now he's in big shot mode.
Well, that actually happened in the line to get his room.
Oh, okay, right. I thought this was at the pool side, but no, you are right. She is in line. And then we meet up with the ragtag group of other security guards at the pool, right?
I don't remember. No, I think that's out front, in front of the hotel. Because there's the Segway there, which how have we gone through the entire first movie without mentioning the Segway once?
Did you know that up until fairly recently, Segways were a privately traded company, and so I can't look up what their like stock prices were before and after Paul Blart 1?
Well, I know Square Enix started putting them in all their Final Fantasy games.
Yep, but I was wanting to see like what the stock prices, like how was the Segway company doing in relation to Paul Blart movies dropping? And Paul Blart 2, for what it's worth, drops 6 years after the initial Paul Blart 1. Like they cooked this one in the oven for a while.
So 2015.
Yeah. But it was after Paul Blart 1 and 2 that the company went public. And so I was like, I can't. Do we think Segways are cool?
No.
I kind of think Segways are cool.
I don't. They look dorky, I'm sorry.
They're the like
you have to go with the hoverboard to get cool, which is just a Segway without the handle.
I know, and I think those are cool too. What I'm saying is like Segways are like scooters if they were shorter.
So it's kind of like how a motorcycle is cool, but like a motorcycle that's a trike is not cool.
I thought you were about to say like a moped or an electric scooter isn't cool, and you were gonna start catching hands because I also love those.
Well, mopeds aren't cool either. So.
Oh come on, mopeds are cool.
Teen Titans did a whole episode on how that wasn't cool.
There's the entirety of Fooly Cooly is about how mopeds are cool. Mopeds are cool.
Nope, can't sleep yet. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, they meet the ragtag group of other security guards out front of this hotel, and there's like a Segway there, and Paul Blart's like, yeah, watch and learn. And then the guy that's like in charge of it is like, well, I need to see a license. And Paul Blart's just like ignoring him. Like doing tricks on the Segway and stuff.
I'm pushed. Should we call it a day?
And he ends up backing out into the road and getting hit by a car.
Yep.
And I don't remember where the rest of the scene went.
I think that's the end of the scene because we, at some point here, have to be introduced to who the main villain is. So it probably just cuts from him, because these movies are edited for crap. it probably cuts to him like blacking out from being hit with a car to guy I love to see in movies, Neil McDonough. Do you recognize who the main villain of this is?
I don't even remember who the main villain is.
He has heterochromia. He's got 2 different colored eyes.
Don't remember. Tells you how much this movie stuck out in my memory.
We have seen him before, and it made me go, wait, I didn't know Neil McDonough was in this? Because that is the original military leader from Sonic 1, who Eggman immediately shuts down and goes, no, I'm in charge now. What's your name? Not important.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the main bad guy. Paul Blart 2. I was like, it is an Ouroboros eating itself. We are caught in the vortex. Every actor is in everything. It all loops back around to itself.
So what you're saying is everything leads to Sonic?
Yeah, apparently, turns out. All roads lead to Sonic.
I thought everything led to Crab. Nope, everything leads to Sonic.
Pine cones aren't really backed up yet. Oh, what else do I need to go grab?
I've been poisoned.
What else is on our to-do list, Blau? Did I drop off all those spicy rocks? I must have dropped off all of those spicy rocks.
I'd rather have a spider.
You know what I need to do? I'm sick of not having on me. Is a bunch of, like, weapon upgrade materials. Look for the...
Let's see, I think after that scene there, back in their hotel room, Blart and his daughter, and he's talking about, hey, we gotta go get ready for a meet and greet on the show floor. And she's like, I don't really feel like it. I'm just gonna take a bath. And he goes without her, and she starts to set up a bath when the hotel staff member that she was hitting it on with messages her. She decides to go meet him. And there's a scene with Paul Blart and the ragtag group of security guards on the show floor looking at all the equipment that will absolutely come into play later in the movie.
Because there's like a non-lethal weapons like symposium or something. Like it's like the trades show, right?
Yeah, including the unveiling of a brand new Segway that we, the audience, don't get to see, but Paul Blart gets to see.
I don't think we are told that it's a Segway even at this point.
I thought we were.
Trash.
I'm pretty sure we were told it was a Segway.
Black Ox Beetle. Salty and busted. Okay, so those two. We can do that. We can do that.
I legitimately don't know what to do right now in game because there's nothing I can build, and I've already done the loot run.
We're really low on ladybird parts and black ox beetle parts, so I'm gonna go and do a hunt for those in the upper yard. I'm also noticing the fact that we still, for some reason, don't have a green shield bug gold card.
Because there's not very many green shield bugs, and yeah. I'll go kill a green shield bug right now.
That's what I was pointing you towards. Picking up what I'm putting down there, Blau.
And then I'll get some grubs while I'm in there.
Hmm?
Said, and then I'll get some grubs while I'm in there.
Nope. Alright. I think... Oh, you know what? I do want...
I wonder if the toenails have respawned.
I'd be heading up that way, so I'll take a look.
I'm already up here.
Oh, nice. I guess at some point here, Paul is devastated to learn that he's not actually giving the
keynote speech.
keynote.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually at the scene in front of the hotel with the Segway. I forgot about that.
Oh, crud. There we go. Go to the other line. This line, please. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Oh, good.
Black ant soldier.
I thought I had the wrong thing equipped.
This is such a long plot synopsis.
That's because we can't remember it.
No, it's long. Apparently, after they check out the non-lethal equipment on display, they find out that the keynote speaker who was supposed to give it is like incapable. I think he gets drunk.
Yeah, he gets drunk.
At the hotel.
He gets very drunk.
And so then they have to let
And,
Paul do the speech.
He's harassing a young lady, and Paul Blart engages in some more misogyny by being the guy's wingman.
I don't even remember this scene.
Yep.
This movie just washes over you. It's like it puts you in a fugue state. But no, at some point in here, because Paul then has to go and give his speech. And
yeah,
he
because he
does,
gets
like,
drunk, and the only person that they have they can get in time to make the speech is Paul Blart.
Right, but what the heck? Stop it. During the speech, he like gives a really rousing speech, and he wants Maya to be there. But he messages her something like, "Sorry, I was a jerk earlier. You should come." And
Well, yeah,
get my-"
he's like trying to get a hold of her, and she's not answering.
But the reason is that she's at a party with this like clerk guy, because Blart has already like found out about her going to her college, and like they got into a fight over it. Right? That's already happened?
He doesn't know about the college.
No, I swear he knows about the college already.
No, not yet.
Then they just got into a fight over him being overprotective.
Yes. He doesn't learn about the college thing until he gets kidnapped at the party. And he finds out that she's kidnapped, and he runs up to the room, finds that she's not, in fact, taking a bath like she said she would, and finds the letter on the bathroom floor.
Right, because, one, she does get kidnapped at this party because, two, we alluded to it, there's a bad guy here who's wanting to steal...
Yeah, for whatever reason, the party seems to be happening in the same hotel suite that the bad guys have their operations set up in.
Because they checked out early. Because
Right.
they are actually, like, disguising themselves as security guards. And that's why the hotel clerk, he's like, yeah, I get alert, like, cleaners alert us when there's an early checkout, and then we get to have a party in their suite. That's what's going on.
Right, yeah. I do remember that.
Why do I know this detail? Why am I cursed with this knowledge now? I blame you. Anyways, this puts Blart into action mode. Action Blart, go!
I think he ends up actually calling the hotel security.
But lo and behold, the hotel security is like in on it, right?
Oh,
Because they're all pretending to be part of hotel security.
not the actual hotel security.
I thought at one point he points out that
So,
I
yeah,
know that you are
it
not a
is-
security guard because they stopped making that color of blue for the buttons.
So it is.
Because Blart.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is actually important to note that there is real hotel staff and fake hotel staff.
I'm watching you in the distance fight a shield bug, I think.
No, Shieldbug's dead. I'm digging up grubs.
I am ox beetling. Oh no, I found where the shield bug is. Let's not fight that right now. Sorry, I don't have gas mask. Can I make contact with you, please?
Sure would be nice if I could get the gold card for the grub.
Are we gold cardless on grub?
Uh-huh.
Ow. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I got a little closer on health there than I would have liked. I want to say at one point we also missed out on Paul Blart fighting a goose.
Yeah, there is a scene where Paul Blart fights a goose.
He fights a goose.
That's
out on the
before.
lawn.
That's before he
Playing.
gets to be the keynote speaker, I think.
Because one of the bad guys, he like locks outside with the goose, and the goose takes the bad guy down. That's the only reason I remember that just now.
Yeah, but that part comes up much later. You are cursed with some knowledge there, buddy.
I have Kevin James fighting. What is this? I found a bag with 6 mushroom bricks on it. I couldn't tell you why that lives over here. I'm avoiding Sleepy Spiderton. What is in between here and there then? What am I missing?
What are you talking about?
What am I missing in the plot between Blart taking out or having a goose take out an
Well,
enemy?
him fighting with the goose and the goose taking out the enemy are separated by like the entire movie almost.
Yes. I'm just wondering like where we are in here is Blart is now in action Blart mode.
I can't remember why, but he ends up calling the hotel security about his daughter being missing, and I guess there was like proof that she wasn't or something. And so they end up kind of giving him some shit for it.
No, this was way earlier in the movie where he calls Red Alert that Maya's missing, but she's actually just by the pool hanging out with this dweebus.
Right.
And so
That's
when
when
he calls
that's when they have their
second-
fight with him being overprotective.
Then when he calls the hotel security a second time, they're like, "You're just doing Boy Who Cries Wolf now. I don't believe you." He's like, "No, there's actually like painting theft going on," and he doesn't realize it's painting theft yet. But there's actual bad guys, and they're just like, get a load of this rent-a-cop.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, when she actually gets kidnapped is when he finds the letter. And actually no, you're right. When they find out she's by the pool, that's when he finds the letter. So maybe that argument is when he reveals that, God, this is a train wreck.
This movie is just soup in our brain.
We were so well prepared for everything else we talked about, but this one's just kind of getting away from us.
It's not us. I want to put it forward. This is not us. This is the deliberate sabotaging by the movie itself being fairly incomprehensible.
I mean, the funny thing is, this is the most recent thing out of all the stuff we've talked about that I watched.
It just goes to show you how much it sticks in your brain.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nope.
Hope this is enough to keep me safe.
Slides clean off those folds. At one point there is a big showdown between like all of the bad guys' crew and the head guy with heterochromia. And Blart and his team of like rent-a-cops, in which Blart fights the head guy and they both run through like a doorway to escape, and then the rest of the fight scene with his team plays out in the background. So the way it's written and edited is Blart wins the fight and gets the thing that he wants, and then everyone else just kind of continues fighting for no reason. It should have been completely backwards. It feels like they put the scenes in reverse. I will say that the hallway fight scene is actually kind of like interesting.
Of course you're going to praise the hallway fight scene.
I was going to... Well, the reason is that, like, the way that the rent-a-cops win is kind of through, like, Looney Tunes slapstick of, like, oh, my pants fell down, but that means that I trip and duck underneath your punch, and then you fall on me from what this person behind was picking up the phone or the lamp to knock you over the head, but it's still connected to the cord, and it's like the most interesting thing in the whole friggin' movie, okay? It was the one shining moment of like, oh, you're actually doing something with choreography here. And you've thought out, like, cause and effect.
I'm just thinking
it's
how
novel.
you praised the hallway fight scene in that one movie, and said that the Deadpool movie did the same thing. That's why
The Deadpool one is not as inventive as this. As the Deadpool one is not as inventive as Paul Blart 2. I'll say it. I'll say it today. I'll say it again.
Them's fighting words.
We are talking about fighting. All right, I have Lady Beetled and Black Ox Beetled.
Where is this infected piece of shit?
But the bad guy gets away, I guess, and takes Maya hostage along with the hotel clerk, Dweebus. I'm just gonna call him Dweebus. I want to say that the movie kind of sets it up to where, like, the hotel clerk Paul is right about Maya probably shouldn't be hanging out with him, because he goes on about, like, how he's dropped out of college several times.
Yeah, he's kind of a loser.
And that also puts him as, like, way older than Maya, even though he doesn't look it.
Right.
Because if she's just been accepted into college,
She's
and
probably like
he's
18.
dropped out several times, that's a big age gap. But at the same time, like, he's not ever does anything dweeby. Like, he just... He is more charming. He has more charisma than everything we've seen Blart do the entire... It's weird. It's movie's incomprehensible. Anyways, they're kidnapped and taken to a helipad. And Blart's like, the hotel security, we need to go to the helipad. And so they go to the helipad. Except it's the wrong helipad. It's the helipad an entire building over for some reason, right?
Yes.
And then they shoot a grappling hook across?
Yep.
Was the grappling hook brought up ever?
It was probably in the show floor. Like all the other equipment they used in Action Blart sequence that we skipped over.
We forgot to mention the armored Segway. It's an armored Segway. It gets trashed almost immediately.
Yes.
This doesn't go anywhere. This just doesn't go anywhere. Blart does one kind of cool, like, actually heroic bit of, I guess I'll just zip line across here, which is butt-clenchingly terrifying. I do not do heights well. Just putting that
Yeah,
out
he
there.
actually gets stopped like in the center of it.
I didn't understand why he got stuck there. I was really afraid that they were doing he's so overweight it caused the thing to sag down joke. But what it actually is no, you can see when he scoots over it, it got like tied in a knot. And so it just like stopped him dead. I don't think that's how
I can assure you
zip
that
lines
no one
work.
has
Like they're
ever
usually
said
fully
that to me.
encased, not just over top of. So if it was tied in a knot, there's no way that thing would have been able to, like, carry on. The minorest of nitpick of Blart 2, the Blartening.
Yeah, that's a weird hill to die on here.
A zip line to die on.
I mean, there's plenty of zip lines you can die on here.
Oh, tell me about it. Anyways, he makes it. He makes it across. He uses a sticky glue gun to defeat the bad guy. Except he also ends up sticky glue gunning himself. Oh, heck no. The bad guy gets his face melted off. Because of, like, coconut cream hand lotion.
Yes,
and
he's deathly allergic to it.
I've been poisoned.
Hey, Blau, for the life of me, I couldn't remember that they set that up.
They did.
When?
So when Maya and the pool boy or whatever are like in their captivity, they do sneak out because Maya's learned a thing or two from Paul. And there was actually nowhere to go where they were sneaking out because the other room just led into the office where the guy was.
Like a cool little MacGyver thing where she like uses battery power to break the hotel lock.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat. I'm surprised they gave Maya any agency whatsoever instead of just being damseled.
Right. Actually, it was the pool boy that was damseled. He was useless.
Yeah. Entirely. That's why his name is Dweebus in my notes.
Yeah, Maya's kind of a badass, actually. In fact, she's the one that defeats the bad guy because she's the one that knows of his extreme allergy.
But how does she know that?
Because when she went into the room, or rather when she went onto the balcony and saw the other room, she overheard him talking, and for some reason it came up in the conversation he was having with one of his underlings.
I couldn't for the life of me remember how or why that specific conversation came up. That one seemed out of place.
I don't remember why it came up, but that is where it came up.
All right. That's some lucky screenwriting nonsense. But yeah, she squirts. She ends up taking out him by squirting the hand cream onto him, and then his face melts off.
She doesn't just squirt it on him. She squirts it on her hand and then rubs it all over his face.
It was unpleasant looking.
It was. Anyway, Paul Blart's regarded as a hero again.
He was never not.
Well, they were definitely like downplaying the whole Black Friday thing the entire movie, like all the other security guards were. Kind of like, oh, you're still claiming that tired old news? Want to get some new
I mean, it did
material?
happen 6 years ago.
But yeah. Anyway, he's re-regarded as a hero. He actually finds out that the boyfriend, or maybe it wasn't actually a boyfriend, but a guy that was interested in the hotel manager, who is the head of the hotel security. Actually, a pretty good guy because he was the one that brought the grappling hook. And but by this point in the movie, Paul Blart has turned down the hotel manager's non-advances so hard, and which I guess has gaslit her into actually falling for him, that she's now at this point totally fallen for him, and he turns her down again and sends her towards the hotel security manager.
It's the thing of like you always want the thing that you can't have.
Right.
Like that's the trope that they're playing off of.
But I mean, I do want to stress that in their first interaction, she totally was not into him at all.
No, it's this total gradual thing that's going on throughout the movie where like it's the weirdest recurring bit.
Yes.
In a movie that is full of weird recurring bits.
And then he immediately regrets it when sends her off to the other guy. But then later, after he drops Maya off at the college because he gets over his being alone and wants to see her happy and successful, he sees a lady cop on a horse. Who this actually stands out to me because it's another actor from Superstore. The woman that plays Dina on that show is the lady cop on the horse.
I don't know why you guys have horse cops down there. That's our thing.
I have never seen a horse cop.
We're the ones with Mounties, all right? All right?
Okay.
Get your own.
I live in rural Alabama and I have never seen a horse cop. But anyway, like, I guess he makes an advance on her, and she is into it and gives him her number, and that's kind of where the movie ends.
Thank goodness it's been more than 6 years, so we've broken the Blart curse. There is no more Blart to be had.
We're due for Paul Blart 3 at this point.
Don't with me.
Actually, it's been 10 years. Holy cow.
Yeah. Don't tell me it's the 10-year anniversary of Paul Blart 2. I hate that. I hate that entirely.
I can't believe it's that old.
What month did Blart 2 come out? Now I gotta look it up.
Wouldn't it be funny if today was the 10-year anniversary?
No, it has been 10 years, but it was April.
Okay.
You missed it by that much. Do you have much more base building stuff that we want to do, or do we want to call it here today? Like we're run out, and we can Princess Bride another day.
Well, it has been 3.5 hours.
That's 3 movies and a TV show, and 2 of those movies don't count as movies. They're collective fever dreams.
Where were we putting grub hides?
Bug parts. All our bug parts are full. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to how these grubs have been organized. gonna go check out the museum, see how much of the roof you've actually got filled in.
Do we have any more pine cones? We do not. They are empty.
I did just check the scanner, and we're not pine coned up yet. I'm seeing almost the top of the roof. We just got the two sides. Do you think the sides are less? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 by 4. Yeah, you know what? With the number of pine cones that I get per trip, it'll just take 2 more respawns of the pine cones, and we'll get there.
Then I got a little bit to do out front here.
I have not seen this wall of bugs, and also my frame rate just decides to tank when I'm in the museum. This game does not like me being here. Okay, this side's fine. I guess when we're going out gold part hunting, we should probably also pet the statues, right? Because that gives you a bonus.
I don't know if that helps with getting the gold cards.
You've also got some stuff on the front that you're needing to fill in. How much are each of those little ones?
Tell you in just a moment. 1 and 1.
Okay, that's not bad.
I mean, it's not a great exchange rate considering that the full ones are 2 and 2, but it's fine.
Half slabs versus full slabs.
I might actually just get rid of these though. I can't find a flat. Okay, here we go. Flat half roof. That'll work.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world.
And those are also 1 and 1.
So I'd say 3 to 4 more. You know, buffer room for the remainder. 3 to 4 more pine cone runs, and I can blast those out pretty easy. We're all good up on burrs by now, I would think, right?
We do have a lot of burrs, although, like, if there's nothing else to get, you might as well get some burrs. You know what I mean?
Burrs happen pretty quickly. Burrs respawn daily, whereas everything else respawns slowly. But yeah, you got anything else you're wanting to wrap up here?
Oh, that didn't work out too well.
Or you can do the back side as well with halves?
No. Just the front.
Okie dokie.
Unless you think we need some hangover.
No, I don't think so. I just about fell down the hole, but I didn't.
Speaking of hangover, do we want to talk about those movies?
No. Blau, no. Definitely not.
Oh.
I don't think I will. The problem with the Blart movies is that it's not that they're bad or that they're incompetently made. It's that I don't think I have anything interesting to say about them because they're so bland.
They were very much aimed at kids, I think.
Were they?
I think so. They were
Because
PG.
the entire thing with like Blart's blackout bender drinking to the point that it's weird. They're weird movies.
They are. They're very weird.
They're Happy Madison movies. What else do you expect?
So what's the homework for next time, since we're already talking about Princess Bride next time?
I don't have homework for next time. I will worry about next time in between this time and next time.
I guess I'll have to watch some Die Hard just to be ready in advance. I've seen the one with the guy that has diplomatic immunity. Is
I
that,
don't
is
know
that
what
3?
that one is.
It's either 2 or 3. I just don't remember which one.
Was it at an airport or did it have Samuel L. Jackson in it?
I think it had Samuel L. Jackson in it.
If it had Samuel L. Jackson in it, it's 3. Were they playing Simon Says over the telephone?
God, I don't remember. This was like 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're an old woman. You can hot tub bath. I'm going to take solace in my trauma corner.
What's Trauma from Paul Blart?
Oh my goodness. It's not that I hate Paul Blart. It's that I hate the fact that I now know Paul Blart.
Did you at least watch it with Not a Girl Face?
God no. Not a Girl Face actually, when I started up Paul Blart 1, was like, I'm going to leave the room now.
She's already seen
like,
it, dude.
I hate this movie. I hate this movie with my whole heart. And I was like, it can't be that bad. And then I wish I could have left the room.
Oh, I'm glad
I started
asked.
watching Paul Blart 2 in bed with headphones on, and they got up and moved to the spare room.
Even with headphones, it was too much for them?
Oh yeah, it was like, I don't even want to see it.
Oh my goodness.
I'll happily admit that it was terrible. I hated it when my
Oh,
stepdad
hey.
brought it home the first time. I hate it now still.
But is it worse than Mario vs. Donkey Kong?
No, it's worse than Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Oh,
It's worse than Mario vs. Donkey Kong. You heard it here first, folks.
wow. That's some intense hatred.
Yep.
Like, I would rather play Mario versus Donkey Kong over watching that.
I'm sorry that I made him watch both Blarts.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you did.
Held me at gunpoint to watch Blart.
I really didn't do much. I just kind of randomly suggested it, and you were totally on board.
I'd never seen Blart 2 before, and now I have, and I am living in a post Blart 2 world.
Oh. Whew. Oh, I'm laughing too hard now.
Hell, I don't even think I got through the first 5 minutes of the second one either.
No, you really pieced out.
So, I already know that the two of you absolutely hated those movies, but, honestly, I didn't hate them. But maybe that's because I am a parent of 2 young children. So, like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like par for the course for children's movies. But I will give it to you, they are pretty bland.
Bland, mall, carp, parp, plarple, parp.
Nailed it.
I got him.
Why didn't you just go with Paul Bland, Mall Cop?
You know what? I don't care. I don't care enough. The tagline for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is always bet on Blart. The casino aspect barely held any.
It's like the
It didn't
bowling
do
in the
any
Big
gambling.
Lebowski.
Ugh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
I had to bring it back.
I'm out. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, I guess that does it for this episode of Touching Grass. God, it feels like next one will be the last one before we get into our New Game Plus, huh?
Oh, that means we're probably gonna have to do some boss rush, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we might not have homework because we might not be saying much more than just grumbling and muttering under our breath.
Maybe less touching grass and more just the boss rush addendum
Oh.
to the Let's Play. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll be back whenever we feel like doing this again.
Yee.
And, yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe. I don't know, what do the kids say about YouTube stuff these days? I can't remember.
You're supposed to leave a comment. I know that much.
And touch the dingling.
No, a dingle the bingle.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye-bye!